Alright. So finally back here. Can we get the hoist of yards, everybody? How are we all doing? I hope we are doing good. Hello, everybody. Hello. Sorry for the very long starting soon screen right then. Basically, yeah, it looks like just as I've gone live, Stream Elements itself has gone offline, and I can't seem to get into it, which meant I had to try and figure out alerts and things like that very last minute. We're just going to roll with it and see what happens. There wasn't much I could do to fix, basically, the place that hosts most of our alerts. But anyway, how are we all doing? I hope we're doing good. Let's get the camera set up. I hope we are all good. How have we been? How's everyone's day going? I hope it is all going good. It's Friday, which is always a nice thing to have, because it means that it is end of the week for as Monday to Friday is, which is always good. Which means that I get a little bit of time now to chill, relax, chat with you lovely, wonderful beans, and paint some minis. And today we're working on a big old marble base. We're working on the big base for the Custodes tank. That's what we're going to be working on. But yeah, how are you all doing? I hope we're all doing well. Oh, you've managed to log in now. Okay, let me try that again. So maybe it was just a blip. Aha! Typically now it's got, should have just been patient. That's what it was. Hopefully it'll kick in. But yes, how are we doing? How are we? Everyone is doing good. Me not totally going on a magic card market, bro. Ooh, what are you browsing? What are you on the hunt for? But yes, of course, Johan getting in the first. How are you, my friend? I hope you are doing good. And Natman, you beautiful bean. How are you? Mannerings, how are we? I hope you're doing good, Captain. Rust here. How are we, my friend? How the devil are we? I hope we're well. Hello. Verity, of course, my queen. How are we? I hope you are doing fantastic. Rasmus, how are we? I hope you're doing well. Hello. Valreth, good evening, my friend. Hello to you. And the glorious Heed Paints. Hello. How are we? I hope we are doing good. Good. Amado, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. How are we? I heard there'd be 40k. I came as far as I could. Well, we got 30k, if that helps. Custodes tank for 30k. Which can actually be used in 40k now. So now that the faction packs have dropped, this is not a legended thing. It can be very easily used for 40k. So yeah, you're kind of close enough. How are you? I hope you're well. Raven Hobbies, hello to you. How are we? I hope you are good. Hello. Tips Fedora, Maverity. I love it. How are we all doing, folks? I hope we're doing well. How has everybody's day been? I hope you've all had a good one. What have we all been getting up to? And are you all ready for the weekend? That's what I want to know. I have got myself a big old cup of tea, a nice big glass of hydration, and as a special little treat, a little can / bottle of Coke. So I'm ready. I'm gearing up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rumble. How are we all doing? I hope everyone's doing good. How are we? Very well. Thanks for asking. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's Friday. It's the end of the week, which is nice. It's been a week, but that's not. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is one of those. It's as it is every week, isn't it? It's just one of those. But yes. I'm sad, and I blame you for downloading Destiny 2, hopped on and down. Best update that's probably happened in years, and now I'm sad that it's over, and I blame you because you played Destiny 2 last year. That is very true. On Wednesday, we did dive in and play some Destiny, and I'm in a complete agreement with you. Something which is, like, the best update that we've been dying for a long time, and it's the final update. Which is very sad. I'm still thinking that we may end up with something. I think there's enough people kicking up a hubbub about it that we might at least get. Here's my prediction, right? Nothing for 2 years. Then, in year 3 after this update, so you're talking now 2029, end of 28, 29, start 29, they drop Destiny Remastered. So you're talking Destiny 1, every expansion, upscaled, 60 frames per second, 4K graphics, kind of just remastered from the ground up. So, like, boom, let's get that, like, kind of updated, right? Let's get that dropped. Then, if there's enough, and then at the same time, they do a little teaser for Destiny 3. That would be the best thing I think they could do at this point. I don't know if they are going to do that. We'll just have to find out. But yeah. But with the bad comes the good, of course, as Natman has said there. I'm going to skip to the important bit. How was my week? A corridor of time! On honestly, the best and worst part of Ocarina of Time announcement was the fact that the worst part about it was the fact that I got a text message from my brother saying, "Oh, have you seen the teaser trailer for the Ocarina of Time remake?" While I was still at work. And I was like, I was so excited, but also very much like, I was getting home and I was really excited to sit and watch the summer games, the Nintendo Direct in this case, with Verity. And I was like, like this. I was like so excited, but also kind of like, damn, why'd you have to spoil it for me? But I loved the fact that for me, it is an incredibly emotional thing that they are remastering or remaking this from the ground up. It is a game that holds a very special, dear place in my heart. It is a proper, like, canon event for me, is playing that game. And even though it was always been a single-player game on the N64, it was a family event to play that, which was basically my dad and my brother would sit side by side. We'd all be sat cross-legged on the floor. My dad and my brother would be, like, passing the controller between them to do various different things. Me, sat there, you know, sort of like, as a kid, would then be passed the controller to input all of the songs on the Ocarina of Time. And it is a core memory for me that is very, very held very dear. And I basically am like, the fact that they are giving it this... When they did the 3D upscale, the one they did for the Nintendo 3DS, I loved it. I was so emotional. It was one of those, because it is just such a core thing for me. So the fact that this remake is coming out, I'm very excited. Whether or not I'm going to play it on stream, I am unsure. I would love to play it on stream. But I think if we do it, it'll be like, I'll take some time off work and then we'll do like a week of playing through it and blasting through it maybe. But then there is also a part of me where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to play it on stream, because I don't know. There's going to be certain parts of it that are going to trigger very emotional memories for me. You know, family members who aren't here anymore, things like that. So I don't know, I'm on the fence about it, but I am so hyped. I may not sound it, but no, I am hyped. Very, very hyped. So yes. Been working on my Golden Demon today and yesterday. Currently maybe 25 hours in right now, and I'm maybe 10% done with Mortarion. Hell yes! Progression posted on the whip in Discord. Ooh, I'll check that out in a moment. I need to work on my stuff for Fan Model Show next month. I am really torn about what to do, because I love my Squig, but I know that my Squig will not place at Fen because of what I can't change on the Squig, which is how it connects to the base. It is the bit I was really worried about. It's a textured part of the model that I couldn't cut off to put it onto the base that I had done, and it kind of snaps the immersion out of it a little bit. So I'm a bit on the fence about what to do with that. I don't know if I have time to do another one with maybe whack it on a big plinth or something with like a metal rod through it. Or if I work on one of my dioramas. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not expecting anything to happen. But I already kind of know from the feedback I got from the painting masters that this would be something that would go against me if I not that I'm expecting anything. I didn't expect when we won our first ever award, which was our finalist pin at the Duncan Rhodes Painting Masters. Still cannot get over this. Haven't taken it out of the packet because I'm terrified I'll lose it. It sits very pride of place right here in front of me, reminding me that, hey, you're not completely useless. That's what it's reminding me of. So I'm very, very excited. What a time. I know. My biggest hope for the Ocarina of Time remake is that don't change too much. Don't just do the remake. Just rebuild it from the ground up. There's going to be some control changes. I know that's going to be the way it is. It's got to be updated for modern consoles. I'm assuming they're going to put motion controls in case people want to play with motion controls. I don't think they need to change much. But the one thing I want more than anything is I want it to still have that same impact of playing that as a kid. Ocarina of Time was massive. It was the biggest game I'd ever played in terms of just the sheer scale, like how much I'd get annoyed of, I've got to run all the way across Hyrule Field to get to the castle. It takes like I want that again, if that makes sense, because I love the scale of it. I'm very excited though. I'm very, very excited for it. Yeah, I'm hoping there's a few people who are kind of like thinking that they might drop it with like a couple of extra bits. I think the remake, one of the best things that they could do with it is they could go, the remake is out, here you go, boom, play for it. Then 6 to 8 months later, they drop a free update for it, which is the Master Quest version. So if you ever played Ocarina of Time, they released a secondary version of it called Master Quest, basically hard mode. And it was always really like you're talking walk into you're talking you walk into the Deku Tree as like your first one, and then it's like Staphos is appearing. You're like, it was hard mode. So yeah, which is cool. So I'm very excited for that. Do I not tell you enough that you're not useless? I can tell you what, you definitely do. As just the badge is also there as well, though. Hey, Super Weasel, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. 3 Ocarina notes. That's all it took me to make me a teenager again from that man. They'll add fast travel. I hope they don't. Because, well, here's the thing. Ocarina of Time did have fast travel. In a way. So you could fast travel to any of the temples by playing the song of that temple. So you played the Blare of Fire, it would take you into the volcano. If you played the Song of Time, no, not Song of Time. If you played the Prelude to Light, it would take you back to the Temple of Time. So it kind of had it had fast travel already. That's all I think it needed, because part of the joy of that game was you had to it was the slog a little bit of it. I hope that that's the only fast travel they add. If they add fast travel, I think it will take away a little bit too much of what made the game great, if that makes sense. Like, if you could just fast travel to random places, then you won't ever go back into the Lost Woods and have to do the Lost Woods section. If you could fast travel, where, you know, and also, I'm really hoping they still don't change the night and day. Because that game, you gotta think, that game had night and day effects. If it went to nighttime, the Hyrule Castle locked up. You couldn't go inside anymore when you were young Link, and then like you were surrounded by like Skelekids if you were in Hyrule Field. So there was a lot of stuff that they added like into that, and so yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping here. They don't add too much. I hope there's still the fishing mini games. I hope there's still like the bomb alley and things like that. I genuinely don't think it really did need to change much from what it was. I'm just really excited for the graphical overhaul. That's what I'm really, really excited. I could live with adding more collectibles. Yes, yeah, I'd be like, more collectibles would be fun. Obviously, the 100 sculptures is always a real bit of fun. Maybe adding a few bits would be kind of cool. Just like a few little bits. There was a rumor that there is a rumor that they're going to fix the bug. So there was a major. I don't know if anybody knew this. There was a major shake-up that happened before the game released. So the Shadow Temple was always meant to be the final temple, not the Sand Temple. It was always meant to be the final temple was the Shadow Temple, not the Sand, which didn't really make any sense because when you had to go and get the Eye of Truth, but you got the Eye of Truth from the bottom of the well and things. It was a whole thing. And there's a rumor floating around that they might change it, if that makes sense. Like they might, if that makes sense, they might change like the order back. Nah, leave it as it is. Leave it as it is, please. Yeah. My 2 remaining memories of Ocarina of Time, but those creepy zombie ass things. Yes. Yes, and accidentally smacking chicken and getting dogpiled. Yeah, I hope they leave both of those things in. Like, Ocarina of Time had some proper terrifying villains. Like the screaming, like guys who basically they screamed and you were rooted to the spot. And they slowly started walking towards you. You're talking all the things in like the Shadow Temple and below the well. They were terrifying. And even some of the bosses were pretty creepy. So I'm kind of hyped to see what they do with those. It's up to you if you choose to use fast travel, though. If you can fast travel in Breath of the Wild, I still run around doing it's exploring as part of Zelda. That's it. That's true. Yeah. I hope they don't add anything like breakable weapons, like what you see in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It doesn't need it. It's not a needed thing. I mean, technically, it did have a breakable weapon. You could break a Deku stick because you could set off fire. You could burn your shield, your Deku shield, and you could technically break the giant's knife, not the Goron blade, one for it. So you could technically break that. So maybe that's what they want. That's what the thing. Yeah. If it's a choice between a DLC for it or them using the game engine for Majora's Mask, do I need to stay? Controversial take here. I didn't rate Majora's Mask. As a massive Legend of Zelda fan, I have a replica Master Sword in my front room, as well as posters everywhere for it and things like that. I never really got on with Majora's Mask. I don't think it was a bad game. It just didn't click for me, and I don't know why. Just didn't click. I hope for everyone who loves Majora's Mask, they do use the engine to remake it. I think that would be phenomenal to give people that. I really do think it would. But Majora's Mask doesn't crack my top 10 Zelda games, which I think is controversial. A lot of people are like, well, it's like the best one. I was like, nah, it's not for me. It just never. And I tried it again when they re-released it on 3DS, and I just couldn't get my head around it. I don't know what it was. It never clicked as much for me as things like A Link to the Past, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and various things. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Someone's going to clip that, and that's going to be out there in the ether, and I'm just going to be like, what? Everyone's going to be like, how dare you? You're a fake Zelda fan. That's what it's going to be. But for the people who do love it, I agree. I hope if the engine is well received of what they rebuild Ocarina of Time on, I want the people to play it who enjoy that to have that. I would then like to see things like Twilight Princess. I would like to see Skyward Sword, then upscaled over the next couple of years. That's what I would love. Stream minutes update. Once I've logged in, I can't load anything, so there's nothing further to report. Yes. Yeah, not seeing much come through. Oh boy, you just angered a very large vocal part of the Zelda fanbase. I'm not saying it's bad, it just isn't in my top 10. You're entitled to your entirely wrong opinion. It just, for me, it just didn't click. I don't know why. I think it was one of the, if I had to pick my top 5 games, I'm probably talking, and again, this is probably going to be controversial, I'm talking Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time. If they could be tied for first, I would tie them for first, but that's what it is. Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, because I thought that was phenomenal. Wind Waker, because it was so great. I just thought Wind Waker was phenomenal. I thought it was so good. Then, and I think this is probably a hot take that a lot of people weren't probably the biggest fan of. It is then A Link Between Worlds, the 3DS effectively spiritual successor to A Link to the Past. I think that is in my top 5 because that's such a good game. But because of my love for A Link to the Past, that's why that is so highly ranked. But I enjoyed the whole kind of like, going 2D on it. Renting the equipment was kind of an interesting way of mixing it up. Still having low rule and high rule and things like that. It was very fun. Yeah. I'll take the heat off you. Twilight Princess was better than Ocarina of Time. I can see why people think that. Because Twilight Princess I think Twilight Princess to me is what Ocarina of Time would have been if it had the technology that they had for Twilight, if that makes sense. So yeah. It's interesting though, but out of those top 5, there's no Breath of the Wild, there's no Tears of the Kingdom. Phenomenal games that completely redefined what Zelda is. However, that is why they are not in my top 5. Legend of Zelda for me has always been about temples, puzzles. You go through, you get an item, you do that. That's what it's always been. They are insanely phenomenal games, and they are in my top 10. They're just not in my top 5. The top 5 Zelda games for me are those 5. So yeah. Oh man, I'm dropping all the hot takes today. That's what I'm doing. In my experience, if you give Majora's Mask anything less than a 9 out of 10, then you can expect some very interesting feedback. I think for me, it is one of those ones where it doesn't grip. I have really tried to play Majora's Mask, and I don't know what it is, but it just isn't clicking with me. I've almost tried to almost force myself through it. And it is good, but there's something about it that just isn't, which frustrates me, because I almost want to love it, but it just doesn't scratch the itch for me in the way that I wanted it to, and I don't know why. I can't even point to something for it. It's like Johan saying there, it's not a bad game, but didn't click. It's exactly the same how I feel about Witcher 3 and both Red Dead Redemption games. I think it's kind of it. You can acknowledge that something is still a good game, but it's just not a game for you. And I think that's fair. Same with me for Fallout. Elder Scrolls, love it. Fallout games, good games, not for me. I've tried to play them a few times, but I never go back to them. I kind of play them probably for maybe like a week, kind of enjoy it, I put it down, I play something else. I never have the desire to run and pick it back up. I think they're really cool, I love the universe, I like the mechanics, just isn't as gripping to me as something like Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim or Oblivion or anything like that. So yeah. I will also switch the heat. The only Zelda games I enjoyed end to end were Breath of the Wild and that cel-shaded one in the boat. Wind Waker. That would be Wind Waker. That's fair. I can get that. I can see why you like both of those because of the exploration side of it. And I think Wind Waker grew on me way more when they released Wind Waker HD and I played that. It really did grow on me. Not that the graphics made a difference. I love that cel-shaded art style so much. But yeah, it definitely grew on me more as I played it. That's the problem with them. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are great games, and they would have still been great games without the Zelda name compromising the dungeon theme series we know. I think that's it. Yeah, I think Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are phenomenal games, and I love the fact that they have a Zelda theme, but I feel that game, with almost any other theme, would have also been really good. If it had been attached to like a different sort of franchise, I think it would have still been incredibly successful. If that makes excuse me, if that makes sense. So yeah, I believe there's somebody at my door. I did enjoy Tears of the Kingdom, but getting to be a stock. So here's the thing: Breath of the Wild. It came out, was over the moon, bought it, played it for about 3 weeks, then didn't touch it for 4 months. I don't know why, I just didn't touch it for 4 months. Went back to it, fell in love with it all over again. I've done the same with Tears of the Kingdom. I'm still in my gap. I bought it, got my OLED Switch, Special Edition Tears of the Kingdom one. I've been playing it, really enjoyed it, but sometimes a game like that for me is too big. A game like that where there's so much to do, sometimes I go, I'm just going to pause for a bit, I need a bit of a breather. Whereas what I love about the Zelda games is because of how kind of almost linear they were, and that you could go on and distract yourself with a bunch of side quests, but you really had a linear-esque path. I liked playing those for that reason. Like, for example, I really, really enjoyed Echoes of Wisdom, the game where you actually play as Zelda. Thought it was really good. Really, really good, actually. I thought it was great. It was fun. Very much enjoyed that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my random Zelda chat. my Zelda, blah, 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 blah. Shall we dive on in and start working on this, shall we? Shall we move on over? Moving on now. Do. Oh, Milkshake's camera's still on. Oh, that's not the wrong one. There we go. It is sanding time. I've got to smooth this out today. Is what we're going to do. So I'm going to get this all nice and smooth, and then probably fill this gap in somehow with, I'm going to guess, actually I might just use a little bit of UV resin to fill that. What is everybody getting up to today though? What were you all working on? What were you all hoping to get through today if you're doing a bit of a hobby? What were you all doing? Did anyone's found that as soon as you learn to attach fans to a board and get a control stick, Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much broken? I feel that's kind of one of the things they almost did. I feel like they intentionally added that, if that makes sense. I feel like they were like, yeah, we want this to be we want people to have a lot of fun right now. And I'm like, you know what? Fair. So on the kind of subject of like remakes and remasters and sort of things like that, if you could pick anything, any game to have a full-blown remake or a remaster, what would you choose? And also, for me, the definition between a remake and a remaster is a remaster uses the same game engine, but a different graphical engine. A remake uses 2 brand new engines to power the game. That's what it is for me. So I'd love to know what yours are. My Breath of the Wild gripe is the same as my Metroid Prime gripe. Metroid Prime is great, loved it, but I think it's been its own IP with a new... I think it had been its own IP with a new character setting, would have gotten some traditional Metroid style games in the decades to get Metroid Dread. I think Breath of the Wild has been its own IP without using the Zelda name. It would have gotten a traditional Zelda game in the past decade for Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, I can see that. Chrono Trigger. Boom. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. You didn't need to finish the question. That's right. I knew it was going to be Chrono Trigger. Would you want a remaster or a remake? Or either? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Yes. KOTOR. Oh. And it's not dead in the water, though. Aspyr were working on it. And then I don't think it's fully dead in the water right now, though. Which is the upside. Where's the updates I've got right here? Let's have a look. KOTOR remake, where are we at? It's still in production with Saber. Saber are still working on it as of the 6th of March 2026. Saber Interactive have confirmed that they are still in development and it will be coming to PS5, but it is still some way away. Some time away. I'm you know what, just take your sweet time. That game is so iconic. If you're a fan though of that sort of game, have you checked out because obviously that's BioWare at its peak, right? KOTOR, BioWare at peak. Have you seen the trailers for Exodus, the game that's coming out start of next year, from ex-BioWare devs, including the writer for Mass Effects 1 and 2? Their trailer was on the Future Games Fest. It looks brilliant. It looks like it's going to scratch the Mass Effect itch for me. I mean, to be fair, the Mass Effect itch is still being scratched because I'm just doing another playthrough of it. So, hopefully this isn't too loud for you. I said Code Veronica, but we've literally had a really good week. You have, yeah. The fact that they announced that this week is interesting. The last week, in the week. I hope this isn't too loud. It's always this non-fun bit. Sanding the bases. I'd love to see remakes of Metal Gear Solid 1 and the Metal Gear Solid 5 engine. I love Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima is bonkers and I love him for it. I'm intrigued to know if they ever will be able to remake it. If that makes sense. Because I don't think Kojima's part of it anymore, is he? But I feel like I like Metal Gears, but they weren't something that was like I played the first one. That's all I played. I like Metal Gear. Metal Gear Solid. Trying to think what else. Yeah, oh damn, I thought it was a holder. Yeah, it's not on. It was. Aspyr had it originally. They made progress, presented it to their board of directors, and then the entire team was fired. So it was then sold off to Saber. Saber are working on it. And you know what? Saber gave us, with Focus Entertainment, gave us Space Marine 2. I think it's in good hands. I'll wait for that. I'll happily wait for that. And if they remake the second one, I hope they take the time to fill in the areas that BioWare weren't able to finish. Because if you look on the galaxy map of KOTOR 2, there are 2 or 3 missing planets. And basically they had to rush the game out, so they just didn't finish those areas. I hope they do that. There's one problem. How would you recreate the Psycho Mantis fight? It's an interesting point. I don't know how you would recreate it. Maybe with new games, with the new controllers, new technologies, make it fully, aha, this must now entirely be motion control or something like that. And you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Or fully invert everything on the controller. So, yeah, I'm trying to think what else would be really good for that. Where did I put my kitchen roll? Give me a second. Sorry, I was going to try and see if we can find where I put my kitchen roll yesterday. Kitchen roll! I have the roll of the kitchens. Yeah, I don't know how they would recreate it. Do something like that, maybe. For a while, Disney killed every developing Star Wars project that wasn't in their control, dead in the water, then decided it would be allowed to continue. A lot of projects died like that. Ask Seth MacFarlane. True. I'm trying to think what else would be... what else would be on my, like, I'd love to see it remade list? I mean, talking about stuff like Blast from the Past getting new remakes, we're getting Rayman Retold. Sorry, no, Rayman... Yeah, is it Rayman Retold? Or is it Spyro Retold? Or whichever it's called. We're getting a Spyro and a Rayman game, basically, in the next 12 months. Which I'm like, woohoo! Which, that's going to be quite exciting, I have to admit. Was that Mr. Kojima? The sniper lady doesn't talk and she breathes through her skin. This child is made of fire. Of course they are, Mr. Kojima. Now come and look at the padded room. We have a nice jacket with sleeves for you. It's like, oh no. No. Sorry, I'm trying to find my... Where's my pack of... I had everything laid out, and then basically in my rush earlier on, I've knocked a bunch of stuff over. And I can't find what I'm looking for. Where are we? Where's my sandpaper gone? I'm looking for a square. I had a square of much smoother sandpaper somewhere, and I have no idea where I've now put it. I wanted a higher grit. I've got a small bit of it here, but that might not be enough. See how I do. Black Flag remaster, yeah, Black Flag looks really interesting. Again, not Assassin's Creed, not huge games I was really into. Got into them weirdly after they released them as a Universes Beyond in Magic the Gathering. I played Assassin's Creed, which I found really interesting as I started playing that. I was like, okay, interesting. I want a Mario Maker 3D. Ooh, that would be interesting. And a Zelda Maker based on the Link to the Past engine. Yeah, so that exists on PC as a mod community. Yeah, it'd be great to see that as an official game, though. Are you going to pick up the Black Flag resynced Super Weasel? I'm so excited for Spyro. Spyro I'm hyped for. Spyro is really cool. If you could, yeah, I'm trying to think what else would be another one I'd love to see a remake for. Remake or remaster? That's the tricky part, isn't it? What would you do? Remake or remaster? I'm really trying to think what I'd want to see. Oh, you know what I would love to see as a really good, maybe a remaster rather than a remake? Command & Conquer Red Alert 1 and 2. That would be really cool. They were great games. But keep the original voice actors and stuff in it. The only Assassin's Creed game I ever played was the first. I played the first, and then I didn't touch it for a while. I have recently played through the Ezio games, and I really enjoyed it. I would love a remake of Dark Cloud. Ooh, that would be very fun. I know how much you love that game. That would be very cool. That would be very, very cool. Ooh. I enjoyed Black Flag mostly because I knew the shanties from being a massive history nerd and could sing along with them. I love it. I think they've still got Matt Ryan coming back for the voice of Edward Kenway, haven't they? I think that's as smooth as I'm possible, and there's a little bit rougher there than I would like it to be. I'm not gonna... Sorry, I know this isn't the most pleasant sounds to listen to. I've got to think, actually, if I'm going to have this as a full marble base, considering the marble is on the tank. I don't know whether I might have this as a slightly different style base. I'm unsure. But I'm smoothing it out so I have the option to put some marble in. Speaking of fun games, did you see that they're doing a Sinking City 2? I know you like your Cthulhu and Mythos stuff, Super Weasels. I'm not sure if that's something that's up your alley. And an Until Dawn 2. I know there's a lot of people hyped about that, like that story sort of style game. Make it a little smoother, but I feel I'm going to be here forever smoothing this out. I'll do one final pass, and then after the pass is done, I'll call it there. It's not a fun sound, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I move my microphone, hopefully it'll be... You might not pick it up. The ship battles were very fun, as the history nerd in me appreciated how they kept Blackbeard in the background, like his story vague, because in reality we don't know much about him. I like it when they do that. They throw nods to like historical characters, but that's not the focus. Ooh, thinking of that actually, that being the case. You know what I think would be another really good Star Wars remake? Force Unleashed. Bring back like Starkiller's story. Like you know, just for the modern generations, to bring back Starkiller would be so good. Like I would still want Sam Witwer in it as well. So yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought I keep forgetting I haven't turned that off. Commands. That's timers, isn't it? Not commands. Timers. Chat. Palooza off. There we go. Fix that now. Yeah, I feel like that would be really good to see. I think there'd be a lot of love for that. Just because it's almost like you just get so overpowered in that game. It's so much fun. But like they could really upscale it or add more stuff for it, because they could now factor in new characters from the next saga onwards, sort of thing. So they could put in like him trying to hunt, if he takes the dark side route, him taking down hunting down Rey, an older like maybe Luke Skywalker and things like that. It could be really fun. I'd love full remasters of LucasArts classics. Monkey Island, The Dig, Full Throttle, all done in the latest animation styles. I know it's been done before, but honestly I think we could do with it being done again. The gameplay still holds up for all of them. I agree. I agree. I feel like there definitely seems to be a big resurgence at the moment of older games of that ilk being either remastered or inspiring people to make new games in the same vein. So I feel like there's hopefully some good hands that we're in there for some cool new stuff coming out, which would be really, really cool. We've had, if you're a video gamer, we've had a good couple of weeks. We've had roughness with the Destiny 2 announcement, but I think we've had a good few weeks. I know Final Fantasy fans are happy. You got Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3. Revelation or something it was called, that dropped. We saw another Final Fantasy remaster. They're doing they're calling it Final Fantasy Resonance, which I think is a different 2D game getting remastered in that 2D HD 2D classic. We saw more trailers for a couple of we got Alien Isolation 2. Oh, Discworlds would be fun. Moving this to the top of the pile. Like straight up. Boom. Done. There we go. Ooh, shiny. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Shiny. Right. Let me just now get ready to blast this over. Have we had an Abe's Odyssey in a while? Or I'm trying to think. We haven't had a Ratchet and Clank for a long time either, have we? Also, anyone who's a fan of Halo, though, What is everybody's thoughts on the changes they're making to Halo Combat Evolved? So they're remaking Halo 1, they're completely rebuilding it from the ground up. They're adding in sprint functionality, which I think is going to be interesting. They now give you the ability to play the game entirely in third person. And they're adding in, I think, is it 3 to 4 missions that serve as a prequel into the game. So basically, of why him and Johnson are so close and stuff, which is interesting. I'm like, ooh. 3 years ago, I think, for an 8. Oh, was that Soulstorm? Was that only 3 years ago? Okay. I felt like it was so much longer ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, 5 years ago, 2021. So not as long ago as I thought. To be fair, I thought it was pre-COVID. Making sure I'm happy with this. I'm still trying to work out exactly how I'm going to tackle this base. Staring at this, trying to think of what I'm going to do. Because the only downside with doing it full marble is I'm worried I will detract from the marble on the vehicle. But I also want the bases all kind of tied together with what we've done already. Earthworm Jim, which will never happen because the IP holder is now shady as hell. No! Oh, that's a shame. That was a good classic. You know, it'd be fun? A really random one that they could just do like a fun, silly battle royale around. Army men. You know, the little green army men. Just bring back like a game version of that as like a wild battle royale. And also, a really good battle royale for worms. I know they kind of did it before, but I don't know if it was done. It didn't feel like it was quite polished. I think it's like those like classic games. And speaking of point-and-click adventures, I'd love to see remasters of Simon the Sorcerer 1 and 2. Too bad they only ever made those 2 games and nothing else. I always liked the Broken Dragon games. I thought they were really fun for like a detective-y style game. They were always really good. Right, if I'm going to be doing this, I need to clean the airbrush. Battle Royale should be the next Smash Brothers. Oh wow, yeah, that would be interesting. Ooh, yeah, Battle Royale Smash Bros. That would be interesting. Ultimate Smash. I mean, they've already done Ultimate, but still. Oh, it's not coming out. That means that it's got a jam somewhere. It's probably a paint dry. I've done a bad job of cleaning it by the looks of it. The Broken Sword? Yeah, the Broken Sword games. They were always really, really good. Was that not what I said? Did I say something else? I may have said something else. My brain may have balked. That is highly likely. My brain balks very often. Yeah, they were like kind of a sort of detective-y games. I mean, with just thinking as well, going back to more remakes and remasters, I'm assuming at some point soon we'll see a Resident Evil 5 remake as the rate they're going through them. I feel like that's going to be we'll get to that at some point. I'm trying to think what else. I'm just so torn between like what else do we need? I think you'll see the original RE was a remake first. Do you think that if they did the original Resident Evil remade, do you think they should stick with fixed camera? Or, I think it should at least be an option. I think make it so it's the same as they've done with Resi 2, Resi 3, that sort of style, and Resi 4, but have an alternative version where you can play it through in fixed camera so you can still kind of please all fans. I think that would be a good way of doing it. Brush cleaner. No, this is that boring part of it where I'm just going to clean this. The GameCube era remake had fixed camera and it's still perfectly playable. Okay, that's fair. So you've already got that. Give us a full-blown one. Broken Dragon. I tried the first one. It might be because I was thinking of coming off of playing the Cyber Water Cyber 2 Discworld, but I found them a little bit po-faced, overly serious. Fair. Oh, did I say Broken Dragon? Oh, yeah. I meant Broken Sword. You know what I meant. How you doing, Solitaire, by the way? I hope you're doing good. My brain is always balked. Same. But we're doing okay. Brains may be balked, but we're doing all right. And whoop-de-doo. Well, I mean, talking of Ocarina of Time, Hyrule Field right there. Oh. I cannot get over how excited I am for the remake. And the fact that it's coming out this year, phenomenal. You know what I find really interesting is the one game I think especially people I know who are not talking about at the moment, is no one's really talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, they know it's coming, but they're just like, I'm so excited for, like, other games. September is an absolutely stacked month of games. It's a little wild how much they're releasing in September. Alright, I'm not saying I'm not saying that GTA 6 won't be good or anything like that. I just feel like people are kind of like, yeah, we're not really talking about that right now. I love that they made their links out of leaves, keeping with the Kokiri aesthetic. Yes. GTA went downhill after GTA 2. Really? Nah. I mean, it's an incredibly successful game. Is it? Did you not like the 3D element of it? Was that the point? You like the top-down variant? And it's gonna be like 500 gig or something ridiculous. Yeah, it's gonna be massive, isn't it? It's gonna be huge. I don't think I didn't play any GTA 5. I like San Andreas. I enjoyed 4, kind of, was alright, but I didn't buy it. It was more my brother had it, so I just played his version of it. I like the GTA games, but I'm not a diehard GTA sort of person. I enjoy the going on, doing the classic activate some cheats, trying to see if I can break into the military base, and then that's about it. That's about my GTA experience. So I can imagine it would be about that big, though. Like, it's going to be massive, isn't it? I feel like somewhere along the line, as much as new games are inherently going to be larger capacity, I almost feel like somewhere along the lines, the art of compression has been lost from video game developers a little bit. Because sometimes video games are like, this is going to be like giant sort of like game of like nearly 300 gig. And you're like, is it though? I don't like the 3D version. That's fair. That's fair on that. So would you... what have you been using then to scratch your itch? If you're not a fan of 3D GTA, is there anything else you've been playing then that kind of is the same sort of thing? At the current release rate, I doubt I'll live to see GTA 7. I've only got 35 to 40 more years in me. Yeah. I'm waiting on Elder Scrolls 6, though. And kind of speaking of fantasy games of that sort of vibe, a surprise announcement I wasn't expecting. Guild Wars 3. Guild Wars 1, I was an incredible die-hard Guild Wars fan, like World War 1, but I weirdly never played Guild Wars 2. I always felt I came to it too late. I felt I was very much into my World of Warcraft, and my as well as World of Warcraft, I was really into my KOTOR or the Old Republic games. So never really thought about other stuff, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm calling it a week before Guild Wars 3 comes out, Blizzard will announce WoW 2. You reckon they'll do World of Warcraft 2? Nah, they wouldn't, would they? I don't know if they would do WoW 2. And then again, I'm not as clued up as I used to be on WoW. I mean, it's had a hell of a run as one version, I suppose. Yeah, people want those important realistic graphics. True, people do like the hyper-realism, although I am spending most of my time playing either pixel games, deck-building games, or remasters that were done like on the PS4 at the moment, because I'm playing Mass Effect so much. I feel like I'm very much not one of those people. I can appreciate a very pretty game, but it's very rare I play a game for graphics, and it's more of a I play a game because I like the look of the game. Right. That's that there. Let me grab my airbrush, put my airbrush together, grab a glove, and then we're going to do the base. Excited. Airbrushing. Where are you, airbrush? Airbrush. Apologize for everyone who can just see my butt right now on camera. It's not a pleasant view. It depends when the current storyline is drawing to a close, or whether they'll do a WoW 2. That's true. I mean, we are in the World Soul Saga, isn't it? Which is kind of like, it's almost building up to be End Times-y style. So maybe. So we're talking obviously a lot about video games, things we'd love to see remastered and remade. Interesting one I have to think of though. What would you not want them to touch? What is a game series that is so core to you that was perfect that you're like, you don't need to redo it. You don't need to redo it. You just need to keep releasing it on every platform and people will buy it and pay for it. What should they not touch? And bear with me, I'm just plugging in my compressor in. Compressor. Cool, seems all good. I need a glove. Where did I put my nose? My gloves. Oh no, where did I put my gloves? Oh, but there's a spare glove. That'll do. When in doubt, spare glove on the floor. Portal. Oh, that's what. So just not changing Portal. Just keep Portal as it is. Do you think they should do a Portal 3? You don't think you'll ever see Destiny 3? I think, given the fact that since the new update has dropped, which was on Tuesday, over 2 million people across all platforms have jumped in and played Destiny 2. I think it shows that there is very much a demand. I said this earlier on, so apologies for repeating it. Here's my prediction. Nothing for 2 years. No announcements, no updates, nothing. We then get whispers that Bungie are cooking on something. And then we get a surprise shadow drop of Destiny Remastered. Or Destiny, whatever it's called, whatever it's going to be. And effectively, we get Destiny 1 remade. No, remastered. Updated to 60 frames per second, like 4K graphics, whatever it be. All the content drops in one bundle. hey, if you already own Destiny 1, you get a discount or something like that, but you can't port your character over. It's Destiny remastered. It gives everyone the chance to start fresh. They use that to find out if people are interested. Then, after about a year, if there's a lot of hype and people are playing it regularly, I think they then go, D3 has been announced. And it'll be another couple of years, and then they drop Destiny 3. That's what I would like to see. So, yeah. The community tools in Portal 2 render Portal 3 unnecessary. That is true. That's true. I'm surprised Half-Life never got an official remaster. Ooh, Natma saying, I reckon that will come for the new Steam with the Steam machine. Ooh, that would be interesting if they dropped that for the Steam machine. Hadn't thought that through. There was a rumor that Half-Life 3 would be the release for the Steam machine, but again, dreaming a little bit there, aren't we? Maybe. That would be kind of fun, though. Right, it's gonna get this covered with the first base layer of black. I'm just trying to work out on this base. I'm going to spray the black on first, and then I'm just trying to think about whether or not what I need to stick to this base. There's a large part of my brain going, I don't do the whole thing marbled. I think I have to apply the marble first, and then maybe apply some like ruins and stuff on it afterwards, but it would be far easier if I paint that first. And pigs might fly, in terms of getting Half-Life 3. I mean, you never know. If it happens. I've got that image of, you know, from The Simpsons, when pigs fly, Smithers, and then the pig gets shot out of the cannon and goes past the window and he goes, shall I write that check for you, Mr. Burns? And he's like, no. This is what's going through my head. Well, I ran out of black. I thought I was going to use a lot more there. I thought I'd always put too much in there. Oh no, now I've gone the other way. Where did I put the black paint? I'm so confused. Where did I put it? What? Am I going mad? Where did I put the paint I was just using? Randomly over here. Okay, I got it. Hey, I did that thing. I didn't think I was going to get Dead Island 2. Then one beautiful magical day came back from the dead after 11 years. That's true. To be honest, I thought when they did the Until Dawn 2 trailer, I thought the hotel in that trailer was the Dead Island hotel. So I was like, are we getting Dead Island 3? I was like super thinking that's what we were going to see. That's that there. That's just basically me getting the base layer on. Could have done a rattle can, but I'm here. I'm here with the airbrush, right? Gives the airbrush a good clean. Good push through the first paint. It's been 19 years since Half-Life 2 Episode 2, so maybe we'll see a Half-Life 3 as a 20-year anniversary. Maybe. If not a Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3. Now, as much as Back 4 Blood was kind of a homage to Left 4 Dead, you know, Left 4 Dead itself is just so iconic. I'm trying to think what else would be great to see. My brain's really trying to think what else would be awesome. I still think for me, like I'm the game I'm most excited about though, from what all the announcements were, is of course Ocarina of Time, the remake. On top of Ocarina, I think it's Exodus. Looks phenomenal. It looks so good. It looks like it's gonna scratch the itch I want from a game right now. A big old game I can sink my teeth into. Sci-fi vibes, decision making, feels very Mass Effect-y. Feel I'm hyped. Well, what was everyone else's favourite announcement from across all of the multiple game announcement shows that we had over the last few weeks? Cool. It's going to wait for that to dry. And then once that's dry, we can put the next bit on. So I'm just trying to work out, I'm just trying to sketch something out here. Let me grab a piece of paper. Sorry, I'm going to sketch something out because I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. Okay, couldn't find a pencil or a pen or anything. Just trying to find out where's my little notebook gone, which has all my this is what I want to do this quarter. That's slightly concerning. I don't know where I've put that. It's got all my plans, my evil plans. Where have you gone? Where are you, Marty? Nope, it's not there. Oh, I just lost a... Oh no, I lost a money. A mini. A money? A mini. Oh no, chat. I'm back to being horrifically disorganised again. I feel there was a brief period of time where I was hyper-organised and I've lost it. It's all gone. It's all gone. Ocarina of Time just beat out for Veronica for me, but not by a lot. Code Veronica was one of the few Resident Evil games I played, and I think I played it before I was I really knew what I was doing, so I was like, I don't understand what's going on, and was like, yay! I didn't really do much with it. Whew, that's sunny out there. I'm gonna need this to do the marble. But right now, I need something to sketch. Because basically what I'm trying to figure out is, I'm nervous that if I do a hyper marble texture on this base, I'm going to detract from what's on the tank. Oh yeah, Clockwork Revolution looks really good. I like the look of that. Hoping they drop a collector's edition of Final Fantasy VII, which contains all 3 games. Ooh, that would be really nice. Like the full collection or whatever. Now I know the tank still needs a bit more work on it, but I'm kind of thinking if I have a marble base, is it going to be too much marble? I'm thinking, does the base need something else? Or should I just do a black base? Keep it just really dark, really neutral. I feel like I don't know. Clockwork Revolution looked great, but the lack of an Xbox is a blocker, so will not play. That's true. Wait, is it not on Game Pass? I mean, we could look at taking Game Pass potentially back out, I suppose. So, yeah. I'm trying to think which way it'll be. And great day to you as well, Cowboy. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the... Yeah, I'm trying to think. They described it as console exclusive rather than Game Pass only, so people have theorized it's a console game. Oh, interesting, because they are kind of making this conversation at the minute. They're going back to a lot more... what's the word for it? They're going back to a lot more like console exclusives, aren't they? So, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what it would be. Yeah, it could be console exclusive. Yeah, because they said console exclusive, not necessarily Xbox exclusive, didn't they? That's a really interesting point. I didn't pick up on that. The PC Game Pass is $10.99 now. Yeah, they brought it down a little bit for. There's different versions, isn't there? There's 3 different tiers, isn't there, of it now? Sorry, I'm just still trying to on the look for something to sketch out this idea. And maybe jumped so much as I leant down, my compressor just did like a quick repressurize right in my face, and it probably made me jump. What are you? That's a piece of paper. I just don't have a pencil. This is one in my paint pot, my paintbrush pot. No, I have a pen. Pen will do, I guess. Just trying to think how to sketch out. I'm torn between how to approach doing this base, basically. And I'd like a pencil, because at least then I can erase it if I'm not a fan of what I'm drawing. But the best I've got really is a biro of some sort. Biro will have to do. I have 6 more hours of work and then to get ready for my 3 vendor events this weekend. Busy weekend for you then. Very, very busy. I have not long left of work though. That's the upside. Not long left. Time to chill, which is good. Well, no, not say time to chill. It's almost like you're chilling at work before doing all of your work over the weekend. Yeah, the point is exclusivity. PC release, it doesn't do that. So people are thinking the phrasing console exclusive means exclusive to Xbox, not Game Pass. Interesting. Num 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 num. Oh yeah. Little sippy of Coke. Refuel. Right, so we've got this oval base, okay. That's it's not quite right. We've got this oval base. And my thought process for this is, if it's fully marbled, I'm nervous it's going to take away, because effectively this is the design style effect we're going to put on as a marble base, right? This is what we have for our Custodes, and for the Custodes models that's fine, because they don't have any marble on them, but because the tank does have marble sections on it, I'm nervous that filling up that whole area will be a bit too in your face, and it's going to detract from the cool marble we've done on the tank itself. So I'm wondering if I just did marble sections, had it look a little bit more like ruined somehow. So the circle, the connector for this, I think goes slightly further back. It's towards the back end. It's towards the middle area. So, yeah. So the connector is kind of off-centered towards the back. So that's the bit where it has to go kind of onto the base. So, in terms of a design pattern, I don't want to make it look too much like a road. We could make it kind of patchy. What if we did something like I mean, it's still a war zone sort of style, and then this middle area is marble, and these are maybe something like astrogranite maybe, like a rougher texture that goes on top of the marble. Just kind of like to look a little bit rougher, and then I think it might not be too bad. Then it would kind of wouldn't look so in your face. But whichever colour I choose for this needs to be a pretty grim dark colour because of the colour of the Custodes and the gold we've got. So, trying to ponder here about what's the right move going to be. What's the right move going to be right here? So, or do I just do kind of ruins? Oh, it does have a Steam listing though. What for Clockwork Revolution? I wonder if it's maybe like a timed console exclusive, so it's only available on Xbox for say like the first 2 months. Maybe, I'm not sure. But then again, there's been a lot of changes at the top, haven't they? I wonder if that's from when they announced it last year. Now as a follow-up. I wonder if they're still in the process of maybe taking some stuff back off the list. Who knows, maybe. I think that might look better. This sort of style. I don't know whether or not to have... trying to get my head around which way around to do this. Is Astrogranite going to be the right move? Potentially. Kind of as if there's like a destroyed Imperial Palace a little bit. Steam Deck. Steam Deck? As in like the handheld console? Sorry, you lost me a bit there, Solitaire, sorry. Did you ever pick up the Debris kit GW released? Talking about 10 years ago, though. I did, actually. Yeah, where it had like the sections of terrain and stuff on it. Yeah, I've got, I think it's around here somewhere. Actually, I know exactly where it is. It's in this drawer of stuff. I think I say that confidently. Cautiously opens the drawer and can't see it. Like the large basin kit. I know which one you're on about. I definitely did pick it up. I just don't know where I put it. Yeah, console exclusive to Steam Deck. No, I don't think that would kind of work. Not for X, like, because if it's on Steam, it's on the Steam Deck. So I don't actually have any clue what we're on about. Oh, we were talking about a game, Clockwork Revolution, and Verity noticed that it was now labelled as console exclusive, not Xbox exclusive. And then Supers was saying that he's seen a listing for it on Steam. So it's kind of an interesting conversation there between, is it actually going to be console exclusive, or is it going to be like a timed console exclusive? How is it going to kind of look? So we were just kind of chatting about that. So, hey newbie, how are you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. This one, Super Weasel. I remember I picked this up, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, I think we got a bad pressing of some of this, because they are not sharp areas. Like, that's almost completely smooth. Good shout, though. When you mentioned that, I could put some of this on the base. Maybe. Kind of like that sort of style. Oh, what if I inverted that a little bit? Rather than having loads of marble on the base, what if it was mainly Astrogranite, but I pressed these into it and did the background of this in marble? Maybe. So, I'm not sure. And I heard it was an Xbox. Yeah, that's what we're not sure. I reckon, yeah, with Verity, I wonder if it said it is a pivot. Now that they've obviously got their new CEO, they're making a lot more of their stuff. They said they're making a jump back to exclusives. So I wonder if that's kind of what's happened there, maybe. Yeah, might be it. Maybe. I'm not sure. The main thing is I don't want anything to jump too far one way or the other. Now, if I put ruins on one base, I've just got lots of one bases. That means I have to start now putting ruins on larger bases, which means I probably have to put some sort of ruins on the Telemon, maybe. I mean, I don't have to. Am I ever thinking this? Should I just do the marble base and then see if it looks a bit too much? Because it might actually look fine. And then I can add this afterwards, maybe. Might be overthinking it. I was watching a Gamer Ranks video about it. They mentioned, I love Gamer Ranks. I like their videos. Their videos are very good. Yeah, it was like announced 3 years ago firstly, so a lot can change. I think you're right, Veritaling. I'm with you on that one. Like, I think that is probably... They originally said it was going to be everywhere, and then now they might be rolling that back. I mean, it's the studio they own anyway, isn't it? So... The more I look at this, the more I'm like, this doesn't look like it was a particularly well-pressed kit. Let's have a snippy snip of something here. Just knocked a load of things over. We're all good. That's probably the way to go. Remember, you can always add. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. You can always add to it if needs be. Yeah, replacement base is £3. What's the worst that can happen? True. Even cheaper if I was to print one. That's the large part of it, rather than the little chipped bits. Also, just as a reminder as well, for Sunday's stream, it is a double showcase, which means that because we did our Palooza showcase last week, but the Sunday before I was actually ill, so we didn't do a showcase. It means that you can post twice, just twice, for this week. So you have 2 posts, and we're going to go through all of them on Sunday. On the Sunday showcase area of the Discord. Still same rules apply per post. Only 3 photos per model, or per post. And no collages, no videos, no links. You guys know the deal by now. But yeah, otherwise, go nuts. Snipping a few random bits off here to see what we've got. Can I post my bathroom ceiling? It's the only thing I've painted this week. Wait, you painted your bathroom ceiling? I thought that's what you paid the guys to do when they came and did your bathroom. Why have you had to paint it? But yes, why not? We're not critical of what people have and haven't painted. We love all things. It's quite large. Maybe this is a bit too big. This looks more like it should be for a Titan. I wonder if I should snip in. Looks like it'd be better for a Titan than anything else. Just trying to think. Not a Titan, a Knight or something. Not sure. Her placement base is free when you have a 3D printer. That's it. That's exactly how I justify having the printer. That and the web store. Let me just grab the... I realise I don't have the base for this tank in here. Let me just grab it. It's in the box out here. Sorry, I've been trying to tidy up so stuff's not in the room. Yeah, back. Some of my stuff was on the kitchen table. So this is the size of the stand, so I've got to make sure I factor that into consideration. I think this almost needs a bit of a... So that's how it kind of sits. Maybe I'm overthinking this marble. Maybe it's not going to be as much as I think. But I don't want to detract from the nice marble we've done actually on the tank. I was thinking the exact same thing. I've done it. The chap who fitted the bathroom said that he was a painter and decorator on the side. Fair. Oh. Wah. Nom 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 nom. Wondering if that might be better. I'll just snip off. I might snip this down the middle here and have it in separate parts. Because that's kind of got to go there no matter kind of what, really, annoyingly. Okay, so let me just sketch this out a little bit, like a broken, not too shattered. Yeah, snip that way around. Doesn't have to be perfect, I can rough it up afterwards. Let's get the basic snippage on here first. Do. And do. Anybody got any fun plans for the weekend though? Where they are getting up to? And anything interesting that they're doing? I must remember as well, next week, it's my birthday next week, so we're going to do a birthday celebration stream next weekend. So tune in for that, we'll do something, might raffle something off, could be kind of fun. I haven't really had the brain capacity this week with work being rather busy to think about what we are going to do. So apologies that I haven't got any more information on that. I'm just like, we're going to do stuff. It's going to be a thing. We're going to do a thing. I don't know what the thing is, but we're going to do it. That's what's going to happen. Me trying to snip this out. When in doubt, Dremel! Dremel it out. Hopefully it's charged. As I was talking about Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker and stuff earlier, and now we're getting some lovely Wind Waker music. Yeah, the Ocarina of Time music before. You know what? I was just thinking. Going back to the Ocarina of Time remake, because I'm so excited to talk about it. You know what? I hope they don't change in a single way. King Zora's scoot. I don't want them to change King Zora's shuffle along. I want it to take an excruciating amount of time, just as it did for us when we played it on the N64. I want it to still be that. That's what I want. Right. I'm hoping this isn't an awful sound. If it is, I'm so sorry. This is really bad, tell me, and I'll mute. Mute, please, Duck, I'm so sorry.
Final princess. The final princess.
And I'm back. Thank you everyone for the elevator music and stuff. That was really... sorry about that. I was like, yeah, I didn't realise how bad the sound was. You were like, please mute. I was like, sorry. There we go. I wanted to kind of chip into this a little bit and make it look a bit more weathered. It was kind of the aim. Wanted it to kind of be like broken into different parts. I feel like I almost needed to chip into that a little bit more. Annoyingly, I can't figure out where this will now sit if I do that way around. It still needs to sit around about there, which doesn't really resolve that issue. Darn it! Oh, thank you for the biddies, everybody. Appreciate it. Very much appreciated. Yeah, it's kind of working out like if we... This thing's so massive. It's quite tricky to figure out where this is going to sit around it. Maybe I don't need this back bit. We're going to save that for something else. I feel I quite like the idea though that this is on here as well. Almost like it's one big shattered part of the kind of the Emperor sort of style. If I needed it to go onto here... Trying to work out how much of it I'm going to have to cut out if I stick that there. So if I did... Would that fit? I don't think it would quite fit. Just trying to work out how I could do this. If I was to snap it kind of in two, almost that way, would that work? But I'm not sure on. Does that still sit there? Not really. I searched sad brain and that was the most cursed one I could find. It reminded me of the put a bit of dirt under your pillow for the dirt man, in case he comes to town. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. Okay, so that didn't quite work. I mean, I could have some overhang, but I don't think I really need to. I'd like to keep keep it on the base as best I can. That's one for the Birdman, in case he comes to town. Thank you for that, newbie. Now it's stuck in everyone else's head, just like it's in mine. The Dirt Man's coming to town. Maybe I just need to shatter this down the middle and have it either side of that strong bit at the base. Okay, I'm going to mute up and I may have to use more of it, but I'm just gonna leave that there for now. You never heard that before? So it was all over my like TikTok and Instagram feeds for the longest period of time. It's so funny. I don't know why it is so funny. It's just the guy, he just does like random songs in that sort of style, and it's so funny. It's like, I put a little dirt under my pillow for the dirt man, in case he comes to town. He's like, huh? It's just him with like a cowboy hat just singing it. It's just, I don't know what it is. It was just really funny. I don't know why. It's just very funny. Alright, so let me grab, so rather than use this to chip into it, so let's unchip that a second. Let's grab a little bit of the one of the other parts of the Dremel. Now lets me like kind of just chip in with like a sanding more sort of style. Will that fit? That'll do. Don't worry, I'll mute up again using this. Yes, it's one of those you had to... Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just really funny, and it was just... Yeah, it was a good one. You just weirdly had to be there. Okay, I think that's most of that done. Although I have just completely filled my cup of tea with random offcuts of this, frustratingly. Oh. I was going to say, randomly, a real random pivot here, because it's popped into my head. What did everybody think of the announcement this week? So Pokemon announced a bunch of the Pokemon Partners collection, which is basically... a series of really cute Pokemon kind of accessories and bits, but for your pets. So there's like a Snorlax bed, or like released on like the Pokemon store and things like that. There was like a load of different ones. Did anybody see them? Did anybody pick any up? What did you all go for stuff? Let me know. I was very tempted by this. I thought the harness was incredibly cute, and I quite like the Snorlax bed, but I know Milkshake wouldn't use it. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Right, I think that is pretty much where I want to be with that, I think. Yeah, I think I'll do the job. But what if he did use it? True. If he did use it, it would be adorable. I just can't imagine he would. We've got him like that sort of style of bed before, and he was never the biggest fan, was he? He's just not an I fits, I sits little baby. Pro trip, don't drink. That's fair. How are you settling in, by the way, newbie? I didn't really ask you. How are you settling in well in the new place? When do you are you back at work yet, or you still got a little bit of time off to settle into the move? Right, let's pop that there. Okay, so if I have those on there, I think that kind of fits. Let me just get rid of some of these bits. Cool. So I glue those to the base. That stays where it is. And then, so now's the other choice. So, trying to think which way around to do this. Do I do a solid marble base, and these bits are on top, and these bits are painted like metal? Or do I astro granite the areas in between here, and I do marbling on this instead? So it's like chunks of a marble wall, or like facade that has fallen off and cracked onto the ground. I think both would be very cool. I'm just trying to decide which way round to do it. Going really well. I have the internet. I finally set up the hobby room properly. For me, just finished my second week back at work. It'll be 3 weeks tomorrow since the move. It's flown by. Are you happy you've made the move? That's the main thing I want to know from here. Are you happy you've made the move? Good. I'm very glad. I'm very, very glad. I'm back on my thoughts. Because I'm not going to see a lot of this base under here, to be fair. So do I astro granite the area? I spent all this time sanding down the base at the start of stream. Hey, Weeaboo, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're well. I'm just like, I'm just, my brain's like, Again, I don't want to detract from any of the marble we've done on the tank. But because the other Custodes bases are just this marble. Decisions, eh? Solid marble base or marble facade. Now I'm thinking about want to do this quick. Going back to my logic of do it fast. I think it would be technically faster to do astro granite in the gaps and marble on these areas and then paint in those other bits. Because I can glue these down, do the dryer sheet over the whole base, and it won't be a problem. Do the dryer sheet pull, and then do it over the whole base, and then just do the whole marble effect. Then I can go back in and fill in these areas with astro granite. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's how I'm going to approach it. Oh, thank you, Weeaboo. How are you doing, buddy? I hope you're good. how's things? What have you been getting up to? So, right. Now I need to kind of... Well, I mean, I know this is going to fit into here, so I'm going to leave that there for now. Let me just put some glue down. I was trying to look for my sprue glue or my Tamiya glue, but I've got super glue. Super glue will do the job. That's what I was thinking. See, great minds think alike. Look at us. We got this. We're pros, right? We've got this. Come on, super glue, get your butt out of there. I probably could have used plastic glue, but I'm hoping this might dry a bit faster. The bad. So, yeah. Did anybody make any decisions about if they were going to pick up an Armageddon box? Question for the community. I know there was a few people last week who were kind of like, it went up for pre-order, they either picked it up straight away or they are kind of on the fence. Has anybody had any change of heart this week and gone, you know what, I am going to pick up the box? I definitely just heard pasta. I clearly need carbs. I heard pasta glue. Of course. How else do you get your pasta to stick to the plate? You need pasta glue, right? That's how it works. How else does your pasta stay on the plate? Just finished work, now chilling. I gotta draw my idea for my photo frame project. Ooh, nice. What are you gonna do? I think after we've done this tank, I might pivot on working on back. I found all the bits for my photo frame, so I think I might hard pivot back to doing that. Whilst splicing in maybe a little bit of work on the Jalrog in between for a bit of funnies. I'm on the fence about maybe doing another cel-shaded Squiggeroony. I made someone at work super happy today. We were talking about looking at buying one of their Star ones that you put your contactless card in. I said, leave it to me. I took one in for them today. They were buzzing all day. Hell yes, do it. That's so cool. I've debated about printing one of those myself. I thought it could be really fun. I was like, ooh. It's just like, heh. Is it easy? My only question for those, is it easy to get your card back out? I feel like, knowing my luck, I wouldn't be able to get it back out. And of course, your photo frame diorama is a big thing to tick off the hobby bingo. How's everyone doing on their hobby bingo, actually? We're halfway through the year. I know everyone's had a bit of a different things going on. How are people doing on ticking stuff off? Like, I mean, a single box is good. Also, no boxes is also good. You guys, you take your time. You do what you need to do. But I'm just curious to know how everyone has kind of got on a little bit. Oops. Ow, that stuck to my finger a bit. Ah. I thought I had this so it wasn't off the base at all. Oh, no, yeah, I've got it there. I'm not going to get the box. I'm just going to grab a hard copy of the rules for 11th. I'm in that same vein. I did debate about... I was toying the other day with ideas for some fun orc colour schemes. And I kind of thought, as much as these are all fun, I just can't see myself doing it. I did debate about getting a box, painting it up, and then either raffling off or selling off the 2 fully painted armies. Kind of tempted by that, maybe. But I think I'm alright. They now ask me to print a load more for a Hendu they have coming up. That's a good way of doing it. Maybe not necessarily stars for those ones. If it's a Hendu, eh? Oh. Leave those in. I'm just going to put a bit of sprue goo on here in a few places. Ugh. Take that off. Hold that down on there. It's got a bit of a bend in it. 40k? What is it? It's like a pension that the Americans have, the 401. That's it. Yep. If you put all of your money into your 40k fund, you'll be fine when it comes to retirement. You'll have plenty to do, and there'll be enough boxes that you can build a house out of. So you'll be fine, right? This is not legitimate financial advice. Please do not do this. And so got Rabuti and Victory Scar to paint up as Silver Skulls. Ooh, nice. Silver Skulls Rabute Goleman sounds pretty cool. And the Victory Scar are very nice as well, so that's always a good shout. This is a bit of a weird one because this is, for some reason, not sticking down as much as I would thought. I feel like I'm going to have to hold stuff down on this. What am I going to use? My kitchen roll. Nah, I don't need the kitchen roll, I'll be fine. I was just trying to think about why this is stay. It's going to hold some stuff down. Pay for all by my work, worth 10th work anniversary gift. Oh, that's nice then. Nice little bonus there. I mean, some older models are pretty spenny now. That is true. Some older models, collectors are after a lot of them. That's only if obviously you find someone willing to buy. That's always the important part. There is only one Rabute. There's only one Rabute Gunganman. That's the thing. Plenty of other Rabutes. So I just want to get this settled on here just for a little bit. Once this is on, I can pull the dryer sheet over it and do the entire thing in the marble. So what I might do is I might BRB very quickly whilst this is dried, and I might just go and hit it with a rattle can just to save me a bit of time rather than clean out the airbrush again. So I can get the base colour on here. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. So what you're saying is Warhammer is like retirement savings. Yeah, kind of, right? Kind of, yeah. Maybe don't do that. This is not financial advice. Right, I'm going to BRB quickly, and we're going to go spray this with the rattle can, and then when we get back, we're going to do the first layer of the dryer sheet pullover so we can do the marble effect. I don't know how the dryer sheet is going to work on this, specifically because I need it to be tight across the whole thing. So this is going to be a fun experiment. We're going to see what happens. But yeah, we'll be back in a moment. Grab a snacky, grab a drinky, all the shenanigans, and we'll see you in a mo. doing? How we diddly doing? Look, the base is done. We're done. It's done. Awesome. We can mount the thing now. How are we all doing? I hope we're doing good. Hey, Sanjuro. Well, waiting for the Armageddon box, I've been working on some battle-ready Crimson Fist Terminator schemes. Ooh, nice. How are you getting on with? Are you doing that with like dry brushing, contrast, speed paint sort of thing for like battle-ready style, or just kind of like layering? Like any particular technique you're doing? No worries, newbie. We'll catch you later on and enjoy your gaming in the living room. My plan is to make a scene of an Escher gang hanging out at a grill shack using a Slopper and Scabber models and some rats and some Palladus Corpse harvesting party models. Oh, I love that. That's so much fun. I've got for mine the obviously my is again Necromunda sort of style, but mine's the one with the Maelstrom Gene Stealer like just lurking on them. So I'm very excited that I love Necromunda. Is such a great scene for dioramas, a great setting for it. There's so much fun you can do. Ooh, I'm excited to see what you do for that one. What size frame are you doing? Right. So the plan now is, can I pull this tight enough over the entire model? I think I'm only going to need half, actually. I reckon I'm only going to need half of this. I think. Using a little bit of dry brushing and some shading with edge highlights. Hells to the yes. Edge highlights, that means they're more than battle ready. That means they're almost parade ready. If you're edge highlighting stuff, you smash it. Smashing it. I love it. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, do I thought I had a craft knife in here. Haven't I got a craft knife in here? Fudge. By placement, I didn't know the size of the frame just now. Yeah, how big are we doing? Yeah, large. Medium. Standard photo frame. Oh, I don't know. Where is my I'm so confused why I don't have a craft knife in here. I normally have like them laying around. But I know I've just got back from break. Let me just go grab a craft knife because I need to cut this wipe. Why have I not got a craft knife in here? I don't know. Is there one out here? Craft knife. I had one in the room, but it's not. Found a knife. Well, I've already found a knife because I couldn't find one. Ugh. I am very disorganized. I mean, Wilds is new, right? Do-do-do. There we go. I'm going to see if I can do this with half, because I want to pull it quite tight. I still want to get like a nice pattern across this. So I go this way and really stretch it out. I think we might be able to achieve what we want to achieve. And tell you what though, with the Destiny music playing in the background, my brain is a bit like, oh yeah, I'm quite hyped for the new Destiny. No, new Destiny, sorry, the new Halo one. That Halo 1 was such an iconic game. Kind of intrigued to see how it plays in the modern era with the new version. And also from a nostalgia point of view, it's going to be nice to revisit that classic story. There's on there. Ooh. Yeah. this on here. Let's try and see how much of this I can stretch over. So, let's start with this bit here. I'll do a big stretch, just like milkshake. Big stretch. Oh, ripped. No, too big of a stretch there. Almost. I think I might be alright. I know it needs a little bit more of a grip. Still doesn't feel like it's stretched enough. Right, we'll give that a whirl. I don't know if that's going to be stretched enough to let actually much through. And if I'm going to be able to get it onto the area underneath. This is going to be interesting to see if I can try textured marble style. So we're going to start with Arthurian Grey, of which I should have a pot of it somewhere as an airbrush pot. Which I have no idea where I've put it. Oh, there it is. Right next to me. I am blind as a bat today. So I'm hoping this will kind of work. I know where to find out, and if it doesn't work, well, we just redo. We just reprime and re-go, right? That's how it works. Touch of thinner in the brush. And I've got Arthurian Grey Air as the first colour going on. Makes sense to have the airbrush, because the airbrush version, because it saves me to thin down whatever it is I'm doing. I do think the air paints from Citadel are a little bit underrated, because especially if you're not overly confident on like thinning down a colour for the first time, or you say you're struggling to get a nice thin down paint, these are a good kind of pick this up and then you know kind of what you're looking for both brush use and airbrush use. I always think they're very good. Cool, right, let's get this on here, see how this comes out. I'm not 100% sure this is going to come out as planned, but this is why we experiment, right? This is the whole point of this. I'm definitely getting some bits where it's trying to spit out a bit more paint than I would like. I'm going to go quite heavy with this first layer because I want it to go through the layers. It's a little bit spluttery though, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah, I don't think I've been able to pull this dryer sheet as tight as I would have liked it. But we live and learn. Oh, this dryer sheet is wet wipe anyway. But this is first attempt, and you never know, this might surprise me when I peel it off. This might actually be alright. Be hopeful, right? There we go, so used all of that. Should be more than enough, I think. Let's give the airbrush a good clean out as we go. Ooh. Should be okay. I'm kind of hoping this is going to work out alright. Like slightly like, it'll be fine, okay? It'll be alright. I think. And if not, all we've done is we've learned how not to do something. Doom, 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 doom. Dum, 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 dum. Is anybody pre-ordering the data cards or the new book tomorrow, the new rule book or anything? And I'm hoping we'll see Middle-earth stuff go up for pre-order on Sunday, if I'm perfectly honest. I feel like we're overdue it now. The Middle-earth strategy battle game stuff's got to come out, right? So we're all kind of ready for it. A droplet of airbrush cleaner through here just to give this a bit of a deep clean. Don't think it doesn't always need it, but I might just push a bit further through if I can. Nice, hopefully fairly clean airbrush ready for the next colour, which I think was blue. I think I did the blue next, and after the blue I did the gold, and I went back over with the white, if I recall. I'm hoping so. I hope again Middle-earth. It just feels so long they've almost forgotten they have the license. I feel like there was definitely some licensing issues that caused some delays, and they admitted, well, I'd say admitted that was kind of obvious because there was a lot going on with the Tolkien estate. I think at this point though, they announced it Adepticon. So you're talking the last preview. So when were they announced? Let's get the exact date of when they were announced, because it has felt like it has been a while. Where are we at? Menu. Middle-earth strategy battle game. The last article, I think, for Middle-earth strategy battle game was the 21st of April, and the Adepticon previews were the 26th of March. So we're almost talking 3 months now since they announced the Rohan models, which is a bit nuts, right? The last time we had anything on pre-order was the 7th of March. So yeah, I mean, they've had a whole release of a whole new 40k release. That's obviously eaten up a lot of their time. I honestly think Sunday they will not announce the I don't think they'll announce the Middle-earth stuff. I think on Sunday they'll announce the new Age of Sigmar General's Handbook. That's what I think we're going to see. So, which is going to be interesting. I think they'll announce the new Age of Sigmar General's Handbook and maybe the new starter sets. So when the Armageddon box releases, people can then, that weekend, if they don't want the Armageddon box, they can then order the start set instead, if they just want, say, like just some of the models. I think that's what we'll probably see next-ish. But I agree. I feel like it has felt like it's been a while for the for these. It's very strange. Yeah, I don't really know why it's taken so long. That's still very wet. Just waiting for that to dry. I wish I still had my tiny little hairdryer. That would have done the job. And it's got to be completely bone dry, because if it's not bone dry, then the wipe sticks to the paint. So I've got to make sure this is as dry as I can get. I have a small fan here. I'm going to point the fan at it. You see, like do 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 do. So, random question here. If you could pick another franchise that Games Workshop would pick up as a license, what do you think they should pick up? So talking like like Middle-earth strategy battle game. It's not as big as the other games. It has a really nice set of releases. It's like just a fixed license. If they were to pick up another licensed game or franchise, what franchise would you like them to do? I mean, I've said mine time and time again. Mass Effect, with them partnering with Amazon Studios, and Amazon Studios doing the TV shows for. Potentially like the Henry Cavill show, which has been rumours that is not going ahead anymore, but I've not seen anything substantial, just rumours. If they are working with Amazon are doing the problem is that the two other TV shows they're doing that big are Fallout and Mass Effect. They're going to be doing a Mass Effect TV show. Both of those licenses are currently out with Modifius, so I can't think they would have those. I'd like to see them do some Rings of Power sculpts, if I'm honest. I know Rings of Power is not everyone's favourite, but for me, I think there's some potential to do some gorgeous sculpts from that show. So, and there's the Amazon connections. That would be kind of nice to see. I'm hoping that's dry enough. I'm literally holding this giant fan to try and dry this. Do you want my hairdryer? Actually, yeah, could I please, Rarity? That would be amazing if I could. This is just blowing cold air, that's the downside. It's just something extra. That would be amazing if I could. Sorry to... I did have that small hairdryer, I just don't know where it is. But at least then I can mute up and blast this with the hairdryer. That's a hard question, right? There's so much that Amazon have access to. What would you... Or not even just Amazon. So much that they could potentially have access to. What would they pick? I don't know what they do. It's going to be something big enough for, like, warband style army battles. So I don't know what it would be. Aha! Thank you. Thank you. The power! I have the power now! It's going to be the most excited person to see. The most excited bald man to see a hairdryer ever. That is a... God, that's going to be a stupid clip. But it's not wrong. Right, I will mute up while I blast this. I'm back. Right, I'm hoping that's dried that. Should we attempt the peel? I don't know how this is going to work, but let's try this, shall we? This might go horribly wrong, or it might go fantastically well. Either way, let's find out. I've not done this over uneven surfaces before. I've only ever done this over flat surfaces, as we've seen. Let's see if this peels well. Most excited bald man. Thank you, Verity. The random URL words are perfect for me. Kitschki Arbiter Bubble Tea Doritos chip. Doritos. Oh. Okay, right now, chat. Favorite Doritos flavor, go. And explain to me why it has to be Chili Heatwave. Ooh. That actually worked better than planned. Ooh. Ooh. Excited noises. Yay, that worked. Oh, okay. That was that. Yay. That's quite exciting, actually. Success time! Mmm. Okay, okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So now, we go again. This time, we're going to put blue over this. So... Ooh. I'm quite... Yeah, I'm quite happy. That came out way better than I thought it was going to come out. Especially over a rough texture, like an uneven surface. But that... Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so we start flipping over. Start this side. Yay for success! Exactly! That's what we wanted. We need yay for success! Let's go! So let's go around the side. Key part is I've got to stick it to the blue tack. If it doesn't stick on the blue tack, I don't get this like nice tight seal. We've got a fold there. It's unusual. It's only a sign I've not stretched the end enough. Move a little bit of this blue tack. I'm hoping though, going back to kind of like GW releases, with Dawn of War 4 dropping later in the year, I really hope we get a new Gabriel Seth sculpt. No, not Gabriel Seth sculpt, Gabriel Angelo sculpt. I never was able to pick up the one from Forge World, which was, you know, not everyone's favourite, but I was like, you know, I still wanted it because it was, you know, it was Gabriel Angelos, the first kind of like chapter master I came across while playing Dawn of War games, obviously, because that's how I got into the hobby. So I'm hoping we get a new one, which would be very cool. There's some great fan sculpted ones out there. Like Artel's got a really gorgeous one that we've painted up. That was just stunning. So there is some really nice ones, but I'm kind of like, ooh, would love to see a new official one, even if it's like a Forge World sculpt or something. Maybe like a Blood Raven supplement would be really nice to see. Okay. So, we go again now with the blue. What blue did I use? I think I used Thunderhawk blue when I did this. It's either Thunderhawk or Stigata and Scale Green. I think it was Stigata and Scale Green, you know. It was either that or Thunderhawk. And not Incubi Darkness, it's too dark. I'll go with this one. Give it a good old shake. Do do do. Do 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 do. And then it's the gold. And then after the gold is done, we go back over with the white. Drop a thinner on here. Flush on there and a bit of a stir. I was thinking Battlestar Galactica, but I don't know if there's enough. But Final Fantasy with more of the magic tech stuff. Ooh, Final Fantasy would be interesting. It does surprise me we've not had, as far as I'm aware, like a Final Fantasy miniatures game. That would be really fun. And Battlestar Galactica. No, go even a deeper cut than Battlestar Galactica. Farscape. That's what we need. Right. Let's go. Oops, a little bit of spluttering. It's not a good sign. I got the tip of this drying too quickly, which means I might put a bit too much thinner on. Now I think I've made a bit of a mistake doing this layer, because I think I haven't left enough slack on the wipe in order to allow this to kind of adhere, so it's almost using it like a trace. So I'm going to be careful how I approach this. But luckily, the blue veins don't need to be too heavy. So when I do the gold layer, I will leave a bit more slack on this. And for anyone who works in an office job, apologies for saying the word slack over and over again and making you have PTSD from your day job. Okay, let's try and leave that to dry. There's not a lot. I've got a lot of paint left in the hopper, so I'm just gonna put that back in. And yeah. Trying to do that one-handed when I could just put the paintbrush down. Do. There we go. That's that on there. Now we empty this out. And we'll leave that a few minutes to dry, probably blast it with a hairdryer. I'm unsure on this, but luckily it's the middle layer, so we've got plenty of opportunity to cover it up if it hasn't come out well. Add a bit of drying on the end of the tip of the airbrush needle then. Loads of spluttering of paint coming out of there. There's me cleaning my airbrush. This is the super exciting moment right now, right? Give this a tidy, and then this time I will push some more airbrush cleaner through to get it fully clean. Switching to like for a bit, didn't realise I'd sold something vintage, so now on a quest to find it. No worries, well congrats on selling something unvinted. Does that mean we need to do a trip to an impost locker later? You know what that means? If we go for a trip to an impost locker, normally means double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Like a roll board. Dun, 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 dun. One last blast through here. It's very rare. There's a tiniest little bit of paint right on the end of the needle. But I think it's actually in the end of the nib, not the needle. Also, can you believe it's been just over 8 years when we got an Elder Scrolls 6 teaser? Right? I would never have called we would have got an Ocarina of Time remake before Elder Scrolls 6. I would never have called that. I was like, what? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm hyped for the Ocarina of Time remake. But yeah, Elder Scrolls 6. I can't wait for that to drop, though, whenever we actually get it. It'll turn up one day. It'll turn up when we're not expecting it. They're just... What if they do just shadow drop it? Right, okay. Hear me out. Most hilarious thing they could do ever to troll Rockstar. They shadow drop Elder Scrolls 6 the same day as Rockstar drop Grand Theft Auto 6. I know what I'd play. I know exactly what I'd play. I'm just saying. Maybe someone at Bethesda is just like, I've got a plan. I've got a devious plan. So, just like, boom. Everyone just loses their mind like, oh! They give out loads of creator codes to like loads of Twitch streamers and things like that. They go, hey everyone, you should play this game on this date. Everyone's like, oh cool, wait, what? It'd be so funny. Could you imagine? If Todd Howard, you're watching this, for some reason you're watching this stream, that's it.
Do it.
Do it. The most hilarious marketing thing ever. In all fairness, understand by the team, it would be hilarious, but I would also feel bad for the devs who have spent so long working on GTA 6. But also, a hilariousness, just for the memes. Yeah, you gotta do it for the memes, right? God, could you imagine? That would be so funny, though. Todd Howard's just sat there now going, I have an idea. Random idea, like, to, you know, just going and pitching it to the higher ups at Xbox. So, funny idea, guys. Hear me out, right? Walking in there like he's got a hear me out cake. Like, hear me out. If that now happens, I am so sorry. I'm just like, oh no. Or if you're a Rockstar, you know, it'd be even funnier. On a couple of, you basically go, unfortunately, we're having to delay the release of GTA 6 yet again. But don't worry, we have a special release for you on that day. And that day they drop like a Red Dead Redemption remaster or something. And everyone's like, whoa, we're going to be a cowboy again. Okay, right. Let me just blast this with the hairdryer. I will mute up while I do it so you guys don't have to hear the hairdryer. My beard feels very warm now. Right, and then we peel. I'm not sure how this one's going to have come out, but it's not too bad. The blue is a very minimal. It's just to add a point of difference, so it doesn't need to be too in your face. It's the gold will be the one where I've got to remember, I've got to leave enough slack. Got to almost push it into the crevices first, then tighten up the blue tack bits around the bottom. So lesson learnt, that's fine. We're learning how to do this. Okay. And away we go. Whoop. I don't think any blue is on there. Oh no, it's there. It's just very faint. Very faint. It is there though. It's very faint. Yeah, I might redo the blue because it's incredibly faint. I might use the same layers, but this time learn my lesson a bit and push this kind of into the recesses first before I tighten up. Yeah, I don't think that really worked to plan. I shouldn't have spent all that time cleaning out the airbrush right then. It's got a little bit more slack to it, so it can kind of adhere and stick. I almost want the paint to become the reason it sticks to the base. Yeah, it's kind of what we had on the first one again. Okay, that's okay. You know, mistakes happen. We got this, we got this. If we did it perfect all the time, then, well, that's not fun. So I wouldn't learn of other ways to do it, right? Let's just push these into a bit more space. Okay, cool. So that's a bit more like it, because that actually means now the paint should, in theory, blast this so it holds in areas. Okay, let's try again. We go again. And get a small amount of the blue again. Lesson learned. It's okay. So I don't need to put as much paint in the hopper this time because I realise I don't need as much. I kind of think it goes to show as well here how much actually the it's kind of wild how much the sheets actually absorb. Okay, let's go. Might be going a bit heavy here, but we had nothing on it before, so anything is going to be extra, right? So actually it looks like more's gone through now onto the base, which is what I wanted to see. So, okay. I'll sit and leave that now. I'm hoping we will see more blue this time. And if not, well, I've got no idea how well we did it right the first time, and then I've just got to count myself lucky, I guess. That's it. We only have happy little accidents, not mistakes. I'd like to say I could embody Bob Ross, but I haven't got the hair for it anymore. Is the Bob Ross Twitch channel still run? I know there was a Twitch channel, wasn't there, that just ran Bob Ross shows constantly, didn't it? Just for like wholesomeness. Does that still go? Okay, I'm thinking I haven't seen it in my list for a while. It's still going. I don't know what's going on with Twitch lately, though. In all fairness, I went into a stream the other day that I had been following somebody for easily 4 years. And it was like, hey, you're not following this person. And I was like, I am. So I did like the followage in their chat. And it was like, you've been following this person for like 3 years and 6 months or something. And I was like, so why am I now listed as not following them? Twitch is weird. It does things sometimes. It does be twitchy. I was like, rude? It's done it before to somebody I actually subscribed to. I was like, what? Like, I clearly am following them. I was like, weird. Ugh. Right, to the hairdryer. Once again, I shall mute. Okay, I'm back. I'm hoping that's now dried on there enough, and I've not just dried it into the wipe. And away we go. See how this one comes out, shall we? Ah, we go. That's what we want. Oh yeah, that's what we want. We want the blue. Okay, so we've cracked it. I need to have it looser than intended to have the stuff coming through. It needs to be a little bit more. It needs to have a bit of give. There we go. That's what I wanted. And this is always, whenever I do this, this is a very much trust the process now, because it looks weird with just blue, white, and black on there. And now we're going to add a gold, which is even weirder. So, I think for the gold, we have to get a new wipe. This one's already got a little bit taken out of it, so hoping there'll be enough on here. It's taken about half a wipe to do the bits, so I'm hoping this will be enough. I do have a spare if I need one. I'm hoping this will be enough for the gold. So we go this way again. So remembering myself to mumbling to myself this time, leave a little bit of slack. Leave a little bit of slack. It's weird. The base is actually still warm from the hairdryer. I'm like, ooh, toasty. I feel like if I do the two ends tight. Sides don't need to be too tight. Kind of like almost want to hold it where I want it dipped in and then fold that round a little bit. You guys must be sick of seeing marble at this point, and I'm sad to say there will be a lot more. I've got a whole army of custodians to do. We're going to get plenty of marble bases done. Might even put some marble on one of the dreadnoughts. Could be kind of fun. And I still haven't thought about what I'm going to do for my 11th edition army if I am going to partake this year. Of what I will do. I'm thinking of just revamping a couple of my combat patrols and going from there. Maybe, yeah. Okay, cool. Right, so we're in. That seems like it's got a nice little bit of slack. It's gold time. Let's do the gold. For this one, I am going to use Vallejo's True Metallic Aged Gold, but specifically the airbrush version because it comes out really nice. This one here, Aged Metal. And that's what I've used on the Custodes. So it kind of makes sense that I'm using the same gold. So, as always, just a smidge of thinner in the airbrush. And then drop the airbrush paint in. It's going to give it a very good shake. And then afterwards is just the final white to put on there. And then I can start choosing certain areas and how I want to approach this. That's what I'm looking forward to here. Shaky shake, shaky shake, shake. Okay, so the gold in. Should be enough, I think. Always a little bit of a back flush just to clear out anything in there. And a little bit of a stir just because I added some thinner. Whew, that's strong smelling, that is. Whew, that's strong. Wow, that airbrush paint's strong. Perfect. Rightio. And we go again, but this time with gold. Certain areas I want to just hit it a bit heavier, do a couple of double takes to it. I'm hoping I'm not going to hit it too much in certain places, but fingers crossed I'm going to get a nice balance on this. Obviously there's still going to be another final coat on here of the Arthurian Grey, which will be the final top coat, of which will stretch this out a little bit more, and then much more precise. Okie dokie, I think we are about there. Alright, I can get the hairdryer out again, and then we'll dry that. Let me just clear out the paint. Actually, I probably shouldn't have cleared out the paint yet, but just in case I need to redo it like we did with the blue. I'll leave the paint in the hopper just for a minute. I must remember there's gold paint in there. Now we'll grab the hairdryer. Hairdryer. I've got to mute. Mute to be mute. This is so much easier with the hairdryer. So much faster. Right, now we peel. And I'm hoping we've got a nice gold on here. Gold veins on the marble. Let us find out and reveal. Oh, there's some gold. Ha ha ha! Yeah, there we go. Ooh, this is looking pretty. Wow, we are flying through this. This is, we're blasting through this. Back in time for a PO, you were. Thanks to your amazing hairdryer, we've managed to do it very fast. This is working well. I do need to clear the airbrush out before I forget, though, because I was like, I'll leave some gold in the airbrush just in case I need to redo it. Nah, didn't need to. Should have trusted myself. Yeah. Yeah, the hairdryer makes this so much easier. So now it's the final layer. It's the final countdown. Well, technically it's the penultimate layer, because there's a Arthurian grey layer that comes out, and then once the Arthurian grey is done, we still have to do a gloss coat, and then I've got to decide how I'm going to do the rest of the base. Let's give this a good thoroughly clean. And oops. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. I'm surprised it works so well over like an uneven surface. Like, it kind of gives me a bit more like, ooh, you could do this maybe on, if you wanted to do like marble columns on like terrain for a terrain board. Kind of makes me think that that is a potential option if you ever wanted to do that, which I think is really nice. That you have that option to scope into if you wanted to. So one last blast through of fresh, clean water. And this is by doing it over the whole thing, we've basically done the marble details pretty quickly. We can decide now if I'm going to astrogram at the base or if I'm just going to leave it as is, because we can put the model on and have a bit of a play. Okie dokie. Right, so we're ready for the final one layer now. Now this layer is going to be interesting because I would normally stretch out the sheet for the final layer quite aggressively, so I've got big patches of the white, but I've got a much smaller wipe here, and the problem is I don't want to go. I have to think about how I'm going to do this. I don't know if this part of the wipe is actually big enough. I think this might be a bit too, I might be stretching a bit too far here. We might be right. We'll see how we do. Might be alright. Might need a bit more. Don't want to ruin it at the last minute. But effectively, what I'm going to do is going to take all this blue tack. A hard pivot on something a second. Take all the blue tack off here, because I've got a smaller piece. I'm thinking I might have a better idea. Before this blue tack starts drying and sticking to the base too much. Alright, so I'm going to roll this into a sausage. A sausage. Think about it like a Play-Doh. I'm going to basically push this into this corner instead. I think it might be a bit easier to stick the, because I've got a smaller wrap. This might be a bit of an easier way of doing it. There we go. Right, so that's a bit better. The final layer. So I still need this to be tight, but stretched out enough that I can get some big bits of white through. But without, hopefully, stopping me get to the lower bits. Because I want to get the white into every single nook and cranny on this. So if I stretch it out enough, I should be able to fill the gaps, but I don't want to stretch too much. I think that might be fine. I just don't want to cover all the hard work we've done. Might be alright, I think. I think that's just loose enough. Right, okay. Let's do this! We got this. I believe in us. Right, shaky shake. Drop a thinner. Just to flood the end of that. And then Arthurian grey, just for the final top coat. Well, there'll still be a gloss coat, but you know what I mean. Stirry, stirry, stir. That flush. Cool. Test, yeah, it's coming out. Right, wish us luck. It's the final layer. Dun, 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 dun. Get these on here. Thought my compressor was conking out on me. Then I was like, no, it's fine. It's just taking a. I think I've just hit an area where it's just dried a bit on the end of the nib. It's fine. It's coming through okay out. What we're after. Not too afraid to get right up in here in some of these gaps either. Getting them on. Big old marbly base here. We're nearly there. Right. I'm gonna pause there. We're gonna blast it with the hairdryer. And then maybe we'll have to do another layer. But we're gonna see how this takes. Just because I'm a bit nervous we haven't stretched. I think we've stretched it maybe too tight, so it hasn't been able to rest. But we'll see how we do. So. Ooh. Stretchy stretch. Right. It is time. For the hopefully the final peel, unless I need to do another layer of the Ultharian Grey. Let's hope this is enough. Let's find out. This is so warm now. Dun 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 dun. Just depends if I stretched it enough. Let's find out. Okay, final layer. Hopefully. Let's have a sneaky little peek. I think some's gone through. Let's have a look and see how we do. If not, we just go again. Oh. I think that looks alright. I think it's not as white as the previous marbles we've done, but I think that looks a bit of alright, I think. Compared to where it was before, there's a lot more spots of white on here, which I think is nice. The gold is still incredibly prominent, but I'm not fussed on that. So I think that's come out okay. You can see areas where I went a bit closer with the white are almost highlighted. I'm just trying to think versus... It looks more like that sort of style versus the ones where we've got a lot of white on there like that. But that's the thing, you know, marble pieces are the same, right? So okay, I think we're. I'm kind of tempted to maybe go back over, but I think I may be overthinking it. I'm thinking, do I need more white on there? But I don't think I do. I think I'm just overthinking. I think it's depending on the light how it hits. Trying to think, do I go back over? No, I think it'll be okay. Well, so the question now is going to be, let's put the tank on it and decide which way we're going to do this. So that's going to sit there. So I think from the side, yeah, there's definitely a lot of marble on there. So the question is going to be, do I leave the lower area marble and paint over these bits with like gold trim and sort of stuff? Either way, they're going to need some trim. So actually, I might just do that first. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably the first thing to do. Okay. This has come out alright. I think. I'm just like, I think it's come out alright. Yeah, maybe it's in the tank on this because I can understand wanting the white. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of tempted. What I might do though is I might wait till we've covered the like the trim of like the fallen bits of rubble. Because I think even if we because if we think of the pattern on here, if I was to leave like just the back part of it marble, and then these raised bumps, if I was to just paint those in, say, gold or silver, almost as if like the background part of this is marble only and the foreground of it is like in gold. Almost as if they've like done gold inlay on a marble like wall. This would make sense that it's fallen and shattered, maybe. That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Chip bits, little chippy bits. Yeah, because these little sections here would be nice and like just a metal. The only bit I'm not too happy with is that gappage. But the idea is this isn't a naturally settled rubble. This has fallen and gone boom. That's like kind of the idea. Now, yeah, so the two options are, I think I'll paint those in anyway and pick out these rivets of marble, which would be gold, and or silver, and then we can have a think about this area underneath then. So this is going to be interesting to try and pick out those other parts. So let's get that picked out. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, I've still got a bit of work to do on the physical tank itself, because I've only really done the base colours and a bit of the gun barrel. So I've still got a bit to do on the tank, but that's fine. I'm just trying to think what colour to do these bits of trim. Let's have a look for some inspiration, shall we? So I'm just going to have a look at some marble wall carvings and think about what I'm going to sort of do. Yeah, I'm thinking probably... To be fair, actually, I don't know if I would need to even paint them. This is going to sound weird, like looking at the... This is going to sound really a bit of a... Okay, let me just open some images, a new tab. Nope. Just thinking here. Ooh, I could do like a bit of a mosaic-y vibe. So I'm just thinking here, let me just bring up this on the screen. So looking at this kind of sort of wall, there's not these areas over here aren't actually painted in anything. They're just whole carved out of the marble, just to make it look like a, which is actually quite nice. But then again, on this variant, you can see here they've got this almost like mosaic-y kind of tile pattern. Why am I randomly opening up something? Go away. So I'm wondering if we could have a bit of fun, because there's a lot of detail on there where they're not highlighting anything. It's just carved out of marble, isn't it? Some bits are a bit dirtier than others, out of like the carved stone. So I'm kind of wondering here, what if we have a bit of fun doing a sort of mosaic-y pattern? Is that... There's me thinking like, hey, I want to do simple paint scheme on this. And I'm debating about this now. The main question is going to be for this, and it will continue to be, do I need to do... How is this going to clash with the tank? And I've got to replicate it, because I'm probably going to end up with more than one tank at some point. So I'm just staring now. Just looking at the areas where I would paint it in. You know what I think I would need instead, actually? Looking at this statue, I don't think I need a super contrast against it. I think I just need some shadow to pick out those definitions a bit more. I think I need to pick out the areas that have been carved better with some shadows. So I'm going to start with a really thin black paint, not a wash. I want to go with a really thin black shade. Black paint. To kind of make it look a little bit more 2D. A bit more 3D, sorry. So I'm going to pick a really fine brush. I'm going to trial it on this. I'm talking really faint. So rather than me thinking about I need to add a contrasting colour, I just need depth. I just need depth to this. Because they would have used the natural shadows of the like that would have come up on the statue to really add definition in here. I think that's really what I need. I could just go over this with like a wash or something, but I feel like I need to be a bit more precise. Trying to pick out these areas. All I've got here is a really thinned down Doom Death Black from 2 thin coats and just lots of water. Downside is I think it's a little... Bear with me. I think rather than water I need to use a medium because that will just let it flow into the areas I want it to a little bit better. So let me grab... Where is my spirit medium? Which I always seem to misplace. Always. Spirit medium, where did you go? It's always the one I misplace. I'm so bad at putting it somewhere. Yeah, it's right there at the back. It's going to be a really good mix on the palette. Keep going. I need this super thin. Almost turning it into a wash, but I could have used an ink maybe. But I'm thinking because I still want it. I want it just a bit more prominent than a wash, but not as in your face as a like a solid black paint. Try again. That's more like it, I think. Okay, I think that's roughly what I'm looking for. This is such a little fiddly technique, but all my time cell shading has prepared me for this, right? All that time doing these tiny little black outlines has prepared me for putting this on here. This very faint shadow. Let's get this on here. Oh, the concentration. My brain's like, concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. I think that's looking a little bit more prominent. I can't work out if it just looks like I'm black outlining it. But then, of course, when there'll be a gloss varnish on this at the end. too bad. It's definitely making a huge difference to make it pop more. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm glad. I couldn't work out if it's just me staring at it and I'm looking for it, or if it is noticeable. If it's noticeable, then great. That's like the main part of this. I'm just like, I wasn't sure if it was just me going mad. It's not too in your face. It doesn't look like I'm outlining it, doesn't it? Does it still look like a shadow, I suppose, is the question I've got. I can always go back over it and thin it out a little bit if needs be. That line is a bit heavy. I want to, yeah, my main thing for this, I still want it to look like it's like just like shadows from the carving. That's a bit heavier than planned. I feel like I need some of those like really super thin nail art brushes or something to kind of get these areas in. Oh yeah, this is slowly coming together. It's making the carvings look deeper. Yay! That's what I wanted. Okay, that's okay then. Yeah, okay. So we're getting there. Okie dokie, so. So much like holding my breath to be like, is that actually a line of the carving, or have I just, did I slip with the Dremel? Never did I think I would be sat doing this, but also I love the fact that I wouldn't have come up with these ideas without you guys chatting with you a lot today. I even forgot I had this piece of kit, this piece of terrain kit, and so like this is I like this. There's a little bit of all of us just in this one little thing, which is really satisfying. It's a community. Okay. Milkshake even getting involved there with one of his hairs on the end of my brush. It's wild that you just sometimes I've just got to keep going back over it just to really get that shadow slightly, just a smidge darker. Actually, looking at it on the camera is really helpful because from where I'm at, it doesn't look anywhere near as defined. But I'm really happy actually with that. Try and work around the area of his face now. Because there's carving is literally down to, like, it's got his mouth and stuff on it, so I've got to really make his face kind of pop. Also, tinfoil hat theory right now. Is it weird that the kind of crown halo above the statue, this carving of the Emperor, looks a little bit like the 8-pointed star from Chaos? Just saying. Just saying right here. Emperor, you okay, buddy? Okay, yeah, wow, that's popped way more, which I think looks great. I don't think I do need to add any additional color. No, I think I'm not going to need the other colors on there. I think that popping is enough. I'm almost sad now that so much of this is going to be covered by the tank, but I'll know it's there. That's the thing, right? I'll know. I'll probably go back over it at another point in a few areas just once it's settled in. Let's get this on here. Let's get that on here. And keep going. Tiny little pin liney bits. Realize actually there's rivets on here I completely missed. Heavy that did. Oops. Oops. And down this side. To make sure it doesn't look like I am outlining it, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to make sure I've got some. It looks like it's more of a carved shadow than just me going around with the black lines. his on there. Okay, I think that's looking a little better. Over the side now. Let's get that on there. Same on that side. Kind of thinking, should I have just done the shadows just on one side? So it would look like there's a light source coming from it, but far too late now. That's when they make these pop a little bit more. And oops. Let's get that around there. Skull's popped a little bit there. Let's get those scratches and carvings in there. On this side. And then over to here. If we go back down this side, away we go. That one was a bit more heavy. That was a bit too heavy, that one. Go a bit lighter with it. Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. Just trying to make it look. Me bop into KK Slider. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm at. I'm just like, gotta love good old KK Slider, eh? It's kind of I wonder if we'll get an Animal Crossing update at some point soon. Like, maybe not necessarily update for New Horizons, or maybe a new game. That'd be cool. I bet that right now, though, you've got... suppose we had an update a little while ago, didn't we? But I was going to say, the main thing we've got at the moment is everyone's got Pokeopia. Pokeopia. Which is, I know it's not Animal Crossing, but it kind of scratches a similar itch. And Tomodachi Life as well, which is just chaos. Pure chaos, right? Me on Tomodachi Life right now, feeding Alexander Hamilton a Cornish pasty to cheer him up. Wait, why is Alexander Hamilton sad? Him and Free Run broke up. No! Alexander, what did you do? Or was it Free Run? Did Free Run realise actually there's a bit of an age difference here? Like, I'm way older than this guy. Hey Kruger, welcome on in. How you doing? Freeman ended it, and now they're both depressed. Okay, Freeman's like, I'm done, but now we're both depressed, so yay! Classic. Maybe they'll get back together, who knows? Unless you want Alexander Hamilton to be with someone else on your Tomodachi Island. Whew. Well, I think that lining made a whopping difference. I think that made a hell of a difference on there from the detail we had before. Kind of looks a little bit more like carvings now. I'm still unsure about the main base underneath, if that should remain a marble, or maybe I wonder if the bit underneath. I wonder if I covered these top areas here with the putty, so I won't get any more paint on them. And then what if I hit this with a much more another layer of white to make this marble a little bit more intense? Either that, or I basically Astro Granite over this. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm doing great, thanks for asking. How are you, sir? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm glad you are doing great. I'm doing well. We are making progress today on the base for our Custodes tank. So we're just kind of milling around ideas about how to kind of make it look a little bit more detailed, really. Kind of make this look like marble carvings is the goal. How about yourself? What are you getting up to today? Painting, gaming, chilling, vibing. What are you getting up to? Apologies that my head is down quite a bit on camera because I'm doing much concentrating. Add a bit of natural shadow there. I think we're almost there for the little shading parts. Looks like a natural-esque shadow. I don't think there's any more of these little rivety bits that I may have missed. Aha, there's quite a lot of them here. And let's get this on here. Just trying to pick out those areas a bit better. What is going to stand on the space? So we have a tank that is going to go on the base. So I have a Adeptus Custodes tank that we have put marble on for here. So this still needs a bit more work. This is a tank we've been working on for our Horus Heresy army for Warhammer 30k. And basically this hover tank sits just above this area. And because I've got so much marble on the base, on the actual tank itself, I didn't want an overarching whack of marble on the base. So, but because I couldn't decide which way to go with it, I've covered the whole thing in base. I've covered the whole thing in marble, and then I might fill in some certain areas, darken them, do a bit of like burn or scorch marks or something. Just yeet my tank. So, yeah, a little bit of work to do, which is going to be on this. Well, thank you very much. I very much appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I think some of the 30k sculpts are stunning, and the fact that you can use them in 40k as well is also really, really nice. And so, I'm very much enjoying the bit of fun right here. Just testing out, and all this is just testing out new techniques. I've not done this sort of style before, so it's all nice and new to sort of be like, we've been kind of winging it and just sort of chin wagging as we go, which has been nice. Just trying to make the carvings look more intense. I think that pretty much covers it. Because I want it to look like they're carved into the wall. And I'm more of a fan of AOS miniatures because they look pretty sick and different from each other. I do love Age of Sigmar. I've got a few ones that I really have a bit of fun with. What Age of Sigmar do you like? I currently have... What I finished up recently is we finished up the Demon Prince Galgus Pust from Dark Water, which was really fun. We had a bit of fun with a lot of fun with his wings, making them like bang, like pop quite a bit, which was nice. And almost making him look like he's infecting the water as he stands in it, which was kind of fun. That's the Warhammer Quest Dark Water one, but you can use him in AOS, which is nice. And then I've got some Skaven. So I was like, oh yeah, bit of fun with the Skaven. This was for my Skaven Combat Patrol. And more recently, actually I think it's on the dining room table. I'll grab it now. Knocking stuff over. Yeah, more recently I finished off something we did very fun, very different, if you're liking different esque style models. We did a Mangler Squig, which we painted up for charity in February of this year. But we did it entirely in the comic cell shade style, which was really fun. So I love random paint styles, and this was something which was really, really good fun. So, something a little bit different. Almost looks like it's storming out of like Borderlands or a Telltale comic. Yeah, so we love a little bit of randomness here, which is always good fun. Where are we at? Oh, thank you very much for the compliments. Much appreciated. Thank you. We love a little bit, have a bit of fun here. It's always what we're all about. Just trying something new. That's always the fun bit. Yeah, man. Although I have just realised the time though, so I think we are probably gonna start wrapping up stream. I think now. Yeah, it's a little bit later than planned. I've got an early start tomorrow, so let's have a look about seeing where we can go and spread a bit of love over to. From how long are you a painter? I've been painting for I mean probably consistently the last like 6 years, 7 years. Like I've been painting for many years in terms of like more like just painting just for my like armies just to get them on the tabletop. But I've probably taken my painting a bit more seriously in probably the last couple of years. And not for any, and when I say seriously, just more I've been more consistently painting, therefore feeling a bit more confident to try random techniques. Which has been quite nice, but definitely not not like serious in terms of like super display level or anything like that. Just having a bit of fun. That's like the main part of it. So yeah, a couple of years. But I think I've been in the hobby though for probably about 10 to 15 years, like in terms of playing and stuff. Like some of my first painted models are like this is the sort of style I did for the first couple of years of painting. Too thick paint, took me ages to get like it was just fun, but I love keeping these models. And then kind of like as I was sort of like but the difference as well is wild. If I look at like that's probably about 13 years ago that was painted, and then I look at when like sort of Primaris Marine sort of came out. I was still that's sort of like kind of like the Blood Angel sort of style, you know, start picking out more details, trying to do a little bit more here and there. And then kind of eventually getting a bit better at kind of like shading, recess shading, picking out more details on the model. That was that's probably 6 years ago. That's probably about 5 years ago. So just it was nice. And then this is about 3 years ago, probably more where I'm at now. Just naturally, just trying out different techniques, a little bit more like, you know, a little bit of battle damage there on the thing. It's and a bit of, you know, dry brushing. It's just kind of fun. Just slowly getting a little better. It's nice to see kind of like the path grow, which is nice. And I think sometimes when you're in it, you never quite see it, and you get other people telling you, and you never believe it because imposter syndrome is real. But I think, though, at this point, we are probably going to wrap up shortly. Hey, Sith! Sith. How are we doing, Sith-a-rooney? I hope you are doing good. How the devil are we today? I hope you are well. Are you all recovered from your birthday celebrations the other day? Can't wrap up now. Sith is here. True, but I am very hungry. That's the only downside. I want snacks. I've been very busy playing the Stardew Valley board game. Ooh, it is good fun. Do you have a big enough table for the sheer volume of tokens? I feel like the game has so many tokens. It's really fun. It's like so many tokens. Yeah, it's fair. We got you. We do have cheese. That's true. We do have cheese. Cheese. I'm just like cheese. But you're right, Sith is here. What a chat to... No, I had to get the camping table out. Sounds to me like you need to get yourself one of them fancy gaming tables, Sith. That's what you... That sounds to me that's what you're after. Right, fancy gaming table. Right. Right. Chat to Scoot. That's true. Yeah, Scoot sorts out for something, right? Yeah. Now I'm just like, ooh. Where's my brain at? My brain is gone. That's where my brain is at. My brain is totally switched off. No, please, yeah, I think I will go and get cheese. I am thinking some cheese. Cheese. Where shall we raid over to? I'm trying to see where I can go and return a raid to. Let me see my list of who's raided us. Where shall we go? Oh, I tell you what, we can go and return to raid 2. What are they? Oh no, that's spoilers in there. They're quite far into that. I was just like, wait, we could do. Oh, hold on a minute. Wait a second. Let's have a look to see where we can go. Why is my thing being so borky? Bork. Camembert. I'm excited for Camembert now. Camembert. And where are we? My brain is completely turned off of where to go. Tell you what, shall we go and raid and say hello to somebody who is... They're co-streaming at the moment. And they are doing a 4-colour challenge where they use 4 random colours and they have to use those to paint up a model. We'll go and say hello to Holy Fire them. I've not raided into them before, so we're doing a brand new raid to spread a bit of love for it. And they are currently co-streaming with somebody we have raided before, the incredibly talented Jamie Daggers. So... let us go and say hello, I think. Where are we at? And say hello to Holy Fire them. But folks, thank you so much for being here this evening. It has been a wonderful, nice, chilled out stream. We made ridiculously good progress on this marble base. I'm really happy that we decided to take the extra step to shade the carvings. I think I want to do a little bit more work on this on Sunday and then decide what we're going to do about these flat areas. But a huge thank you to everyone who has been in. It has been an absolute delight. Yeah, we're going to be back on Sunday as per usual, doing all the fun gubbins and gizmos where we are going to be chilling, chatting, painting, and of course celebrating because it's a double showcase over for our Sunday showcases. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And of course, I will put up some information about what we're gonna do next week to celebrate my birthday, because that's my birthday next week, and I keep forgetting to arrange something for it. But for now, folks, thank you so much, and as always, please remember to stay safe, stay positive, and above all, be an ambassador for your hobby. Let's go spread some love over to Holy Fire them, and yeah, we will catch you soon. But for now, bye.